It is that time. Hello, everyone. Hopefully all the audio sounds good. We have fixed many issues here. So we had that thing that happened to us a few times where all of a sudden you'd have that huge, like, nasty sound that would ring out and all the USB audio stuff would cut out. It was because one of the audio components I have was pulling too much USB power from a front USB port. I had to move that around to the back of the machine. When I did that I think that fixed it. So we shouldn't have that anymore. Hello, everyone. Hello, Fraley, Boba, Kurt. Looking forward to having you on tomorrow night, Kurt. We do be live. Hello, Chris. Rachel! Yes, you are always to blame, Manda.
I agree, because it's also Amanda's fault that the reason my mouse wasn't working isn't because my battery was dead. It's because the switch on my multi-hub for my USBs was off.
I was going to tell you that, but...
And I know Amanda was trying to fiddle with something and she shut it off.
I mean, sure, fine. Fine. The one who knows, I'm sorry, but the tracker will not track when I look at it, so I know it's not me.
Well, let's see if it's working tonight. Hello, Finger Friction. That's your first time chatting in our Twitch chat. That's crazy because you've been so active in Discord, but yeah. Thanks for popping in. Hello, Tracy.
Thank you, Finger Friction, for popping in tonight.
No, stop.
Oh, it's going to be one of those nights. It's going to be one of those. Josh is feeling better. I can tell already.
Josh, I'm glad you're not dead. Rory never told me what happened. All I know is you were...
He almost died. That's all.
Yep, totally.
Yeah, he was.
What needs to cut his nose off?
Where is it again this time that you almost died?
Did you crash
I didn't
again?
almost die. I just have a hernia.
Joshua.
To be fair, the hernia is probably from the last time he almost died.
Well, yeah, but I didn't. I didn't.
We're very glad.
It's not going to stop us from yelling at you, Josh.
Yay.
You can't escape it. You know.
You sounded like you were 6 years old. I didn't.
I didn't die.
It wasn't me. It was
Powerful argument.
Joshua cat.
Yes, yeah, exactly. All right, here we go. You are now both heard and seen. In 3, 2, and 1, we begin with Sea of Dark Sun, Greyhawk Awakening, The Calm Before. And welcome, everyone. And you guys look amazing. We're all rocking the AthesCon shirts today. They are really cool logos, not necessarily the most amazing material, but June Solar was on with us last week. I'll let him know next year to make sure we get a better dry fit, kind of a softer material. These are pretty harsh, but they are gorgeous. That logo is amazing, and AthesCon is coming up here in October, so we're supporting that as part of our Dark Sun efforts, and excited to have Radu will be with us on August 16th, and he's also a big part of the community, so lots of Dark Sun stuff that is coming here across the board with the team. Also, we were just discussing, we're glad Josh did not die. Josh, thank you for not dying. We have a fun show planned for tonight. We'll go through what happened last time, because it's been a couple of weeks. We missed our episode last week, and we'll do our quick update on character, and also I believe we have some level ups that will happen at next rest, so it'll be fun to see how all of that unfolds. Hello, Midsummer, Larry, August, good to see you, my friend. Greg as well. Lots of folks pop in the chat. Thanks for being with us. All right, so let's start off tonight with what happened last time. Nida.
Yeah. So last time we picked up, after eviscerating the leader of the Tattered Flag, as leapt from a cliff and him. What followed was a series of attempted throws of carts and some very bit damage taken by the party, who managed to take out these bandits. The defiler of the tattered flag did pose a significant problem to our resident gladiator as his life force was being sucked away while lying in the sands. After the battle, everyone licked their wounds, and soon the spirits of the Jinda children came back to speak with the party, thanking them for avenging them and their parents. At one point, there was a bit of a tension between Tick and the party as he attempted to defile the grave that Nida had buried the Jinda parents in efforts of maybe finding water in their bones.
And by the way, you're cutting out a little bit for us on audio. Everyone else hearing that? All right, let me hear, if I could have, let me make sure it's not on my end. If you would please, John, speak for a few moments, and let's make sure it's not on my end.
I'm talking. I'm still talking. Talking.
Yeah, it's Ashlyn. All right.
It's me. Cool.
Yep.
We're going back to basic bitch. I just need to figure out which plug goes to that microphone. Okay, and we're back to my microphone hates me, guys. So a bit of tension between Tick and the party that was resolved as the leader's mount came running back, being chased by the spirits of the Jinda parents, carrying on its back many water skins.
Run!
And that's where we left off.
That was where we left off. And, it was, I think, fantastic roleplay on all parts. In particular, I loved Tick. In the original Dark Sun box set 2E version up here, if you were in a heavy state of dehydration, you could actually go to a chaotic evil alignment with a failed saving throw. And the idea being you're so overwrought with your need for water that you will do anything, even evil things. And while we didn't use that mechanic, I love the way Rory played that. And it was very, very similar to, the panic, desecrating the bones. He was in that state. Then, of course, the song, Nida. The song, sung in Athasian Elvish, now on our TikTok. Check it out. It's super cool. It was very, very well done.
I'll actually record the whole thing so you can actually hear the words.
I would love that. But super fun stuff. So let's go ahead. Let's go through our character intros. We'll play the intro video, and we will get started with tonight's 7th session of Sea of Dark Sun. And we're going to go in order on the camera. So we're going to start with you, Tick. Introduce your character to us. Tell us about Tick.
All right, yeah. So Tick, all 11 feet, 1,400 pounds of extremely dehydrated beef jerky. This guy is thirsty. Even after the water he's received from the flask, still very, very thirsty. Khan is way down. He is suffering pretty bad from this dehydration, although he's still hanging on.
Nicely done. Nida.
Nida is our shortest member at a whopping 5'7" as a half elf. She is very tired. She has used all her spells and all her healing every day. She has one thing that she can do left today, and then she's again tapped out. Just constantly having to heal everybody. She's very, very tired.
As she should be. Anala.
Anala is our resident protector of Nida and very unhappy with Tick right now from pushing her aside. So we'll see. She's not doing.
Is she ever not unhappy with Tick though?
No, that hasn't happened yet.
She kind of started to be like, maybe he's okay when he threw the boulder, but then he went after her. So
I just keep my relationships consistent.
yeah, exactly.
Well said. Kalak.
Kalak Arikior is a Thrycreen scout of the Drick Dual Tech. He was captured long ago and made to be a gladiator in the arena. And between then and now, he's now currently being tortured heavily with I think it's in is it in Tyr?
Hmm.
Yeah, within Tyr, and through the pain and the torture and the madness, latent psychic energy has burst forth, and he has lashed out at his captor. And that's kind of where we left off with him.
Manifesting a wild psionic talent that he did not have heretofore. Pretty cool. Let's go Zephatok.
Hey, Zephatok is a quarter giant druid of the 2nd level. He's an erosion druid to be specific, and has an odd love of insects, insectoids, and other such creepy crawly creatures of the desert. He was recently, last thing that he really had on his mind was to slow down the mount of the bad baddies and just soothe it, calmly just brushing its snout as it leans its head against his chest. Also ready to take out Tick if needs be.
Nicely said. Lucius.
Lucius is a elven bard who has been enslaved for the majority of his life. He is recently out of his enslavement, captivity, whatever you want to call it, and he's trying to figure out who he is now while still pursuing slavers and making sure they get what's coming to them.
Well said. And with that, we will play our intro video, and when we come back, we will join Session 7 of Sea of Dark Sun.
Woo! Woo!
Josh, you're a
Hands
dork.
up, Josh.
Oh.
There we go.
Are we all doing it? What's
Woo!
we got 3 out of 5, 3 out of 5, 3 out of 5.
It's just the Kermit the Frog.
Oh, I started this. I'm not doing it again.
No, we're going in circles, circular motions.
Oh,
guys.
circular. Oh, it's a thing.
Circular.
Which way? This way? Which? Oh, it's this. Oh, circular. Oh, forward and back, not
I'm sorry.
not vertical. Okay.
No, not.
The one brain cell is being passed around.
It is being passed around,
Yeah.
precisely.
Man, John, this intro video looks great.
Doesn't it?
It's not playing on the
I know. I had to do something different, but I got it.
John. Hey,
There it is. Yo, that's me. Oh.
The Sea of Death. That's one of my I love that shot. That's such a cool shot.
yeah.
The stream is always off the rails, Patrick.
You guys just don't usually see the dance moves during these.
Exactly. All right. So, as the zephyrs of wind blow through the canyon and the Jinda child calls out with one final query as to your name, all is still in darkness, but you still have the cloying scent of blood, copper metallic in the air, and the parched thirst of the party, the panting of the Krodlu near Zephatok, but still in close ready to flee at any moment. As the last azure wisp of the Jinda child disappears, the question echoes in the air and is gone.
I suppose that is a question we should probably figure out an answer to if we are going to stick together. But also, all this blood smell is probably going to attract something unpleasant.
You see Tick just groan and like I am very weak in this moment. It's decently tough to move. Like I'm standing and I'm hunched over, and you can see that I'm trying to stand up, but I'm pretty rough right now. I mean, I suppose we could move, but Zephyr talk. Can that thing carry me?
He looks at it, looks down at the head that's pressed against his chest, looks up at Tick. No, these cannot carry you.
That's not good.
Lucius is just kind of propped his back up against a large rock or the side of the canyon with one foot kind of leaning back nonchalantly while taking out some of his water and just sipping on it. Just like...
How much water did we get from the side bags that the Crodlu was carrying?
Lucius got 3 gallons.
No, but on the Crodlu, there were 20 gallons of water. However, what I did not finish explaining last time is that as Zephytok looked at them, there was another sack, smaller, beneath one of those. There were 4 or 5-gallon sacks with water. Beneath one was another sack, smaller, which he noticed as he pulled the top of that sack off, and he could smell the strong scent of fermented kank nectar.
Delicious.
Fermented kank nectar, and 21 gallons of water.
20 gallons of water.
25 gallons of water. Okay. And then any money in the sacks?
Not on the Crodlu, no. But are you looking inside are you opening them, or what are you doing?
I'm looking across while kind of holding the reins to the Crodlu, going across, taking inventory of all of it. And I would have been doing this while they were talking, soothing it, taking inventory.
Yeah, and as you soothe it, even just the sound of Tick's voice unsettled it a bit. It could not discern what was being queried, obviously, but it was still not happy, just hearing his voice. There is both 2 gallons of fermented kank nectar, the 20 gallons of water, and a small white vial filled with some sort of pearlesque liquid. Oh, Josh, God.
Does it seem thin liquid, or does it seem to be a thicker liquid? As I swirl it around in its vial.
It's somewhat viscous.
Is it goopy?
It's viscous, goopy.
Small, goopy, white vial. Wonderful. This is different parts of a kick. Okay.
Liquids are
he'll
important. You gotta
pocket.
recapture all the liquids. Something. I don't know.
He'll put the vial away for his own pouch, but it seems that we have at least 20 gallons of water over here. I do not know how we would wish to divide this. Neither. You are the most trusted with the water of the group. I'll leave it to you to divide this.
All right. She, just because Ashlyn can't remember numbers, especially after 2 weeks. What's I know we went over everybody's deficit at the end of last time,
Right.
but Ashlyn has bad memory. I can remember events, can't remember numbers.
Yes. So each of you had, I mean, obviously Tick was the worst deficit by a significant amount.
Oh, yeah.
I'm showing here. So you, Nida, were in a 2-gallon deficit.
Yep.
And Anala was in a 1.5-gallon deficit. Am I right on that, Anala? No? None?
Maybe just from that one session, but
Yeah.
overall, I'm down. I've lost -2, I believe. I went
Okay.
down again.
Gotcha.
My con's at 7.
Right. Well, yeah, and so Lucius had enough water, I think. Took care of himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lucius is fine.
And Zephatok, you were down 4 gallons? Is that right?
Totally. All I know is I have a -3 temporary modifier.
Yeah, that's what I have here. So
And then Tick is just all the way down.
Oh. I think I've taken a hit all 5 times.
Yeah.
To give you an idea how negative my con is, it's
Yes.
there.
So we have 5 bags, each of them 5 gallons. This is where Ashlyn gets to do math.
4 bags, 5 gallons.
4 bags, 5 gallons.
4 bags.
1
5
bag, 2 gallons.
See, I was blind, but I can't remember numbers.
Hey, no, but there are 5 bags. The 5th bag is just the nectar that Zephatok has not told the group about.
Okay, cool. That was going to be the next question, is if you told us
4
about
bags,
that.
5 gallons.
Cool. And how much water does Tick require a day?
Probably all of that.
Well, that last one we
Yeah.
were fighting during the day, so that was 16 gallons for that one.
Yeah.
So a human, again, we'll walk through this one more time, and then we'll clip this. So a human resting in shade, 1 gallon a day. A human, normal activity in Athos, very hot, very arid, very low humidity, 2 gallons a day of just general activity. Traveling out in the sun, combat, 4 gallons a day for a human in a really, active state in the Athasian sun. Everything is times 4 for Tick. So up to 16 gallons if he is, fully active combat, which makes sense again for someone that weighs 1,400 pounds.
I'm messed up.
I'm going to hand Tick one of the water skins. I'm going to hold on to his second water skin because I don't trust him to not guzzle it all at once. That's not how you get rehydrated. And as I hand it to him, you are going to drink it slowly.
Oh, well, we'll see if I listen to you. Give me a second here.
Tick,
Slowly, or I feed it to you.
Tick, we listen to her.
So I reach out to you, eyes wide open, like you have gold in front of me. And I grab it and I start to pull it slowly towards me. And I make sure it's open. And you see, I'm extremely focused on this container. And I'm looking at you. My
If you
eyes
want
dart
the
over
second
to.
one, if you want me to give you the second one and allow you to drink it yourself, like an adult, You are going to drink that slowly.
My eyes dart over to Zephatok, back to you, back and forth just a couple times. And you see my hands start to shake. As I open my mouth, all 9 inches that it can open. And I like shove the first part of that and I squeeze it. I'm sorry, I rolled low and I'm not doing well.
Fine. It's just there's consequences to your action.
Yeah.
Well, it sure is. I squeeze it, and like you see me pull it away as I start choking as a good, not a good amount, but you know, some of it falls out. And I just. I'm sorry. And I'll lift it up and go a little bit slower. As I'll
next
finish
time, Zeph,
5
I'm going to
gallons
have you hold him down and I will just force feed him a little bit at a time. He's lost drinking privileges.
If there is a next time that gets this bad, there will not be a time after that.
Yes. I meant when I give him this second one. He's
I-
not getting it yet.
But I need it. I'm still thirsty.
Yeah, you're still thirsty, but your body can only absorb so much at a time.
No, I can swallow it all.
That it doesn't matter if you ingest it quickly. Your body can only take so much in. You have to drink it slower. Let that process. There is more for you. As I'm going to hand one of the pouches back to Zeph. And then, what's that? I have that one. It's extra. And then I'll hold on to 2 of them, and I'll just one bag for the elven trio.
Is Lucius still on the ridge?
Mm-hmm.
Lucius, do you see anything up there?
Oh, you mean up top? No, he's not.
Oh, okay.
He did a swan dive last.
Yeah, he jumped down.
Right. I agree with both Anala and Nida. We need to keep moving. The smell of blood will attract more.
I'm still not doing so well. Yes, I got water, but I am still not feeling well. Can we, do we have to move fast? I don't know that I can move fast.
We have to move. We do
I
not
can
need to
move.
move fast.
Okay, I can do that. Hey, Nida, I need more water.
Not yet.
Oh, damn.
Nida, get onto the
Rodlu.
the Krodlo.
It's not that hard,
Need
guys.
water too.
My brain. You ride the Krodlo. I know Anala will be happy with that, and then Lucius, if you would like, either you or Anala should be able to fit as well on the Krodlo.
And Nala will just walk over silently and just stand beside and just cross her arms.
As she accidentally stabs herself with one of her knives. Just, okay, no, yeah. I thought as much. Lucius, if you would like to take the seat.
Lucius takes the seat.
Okay. All right. I'll take the front of the group, leading the Grodlu. Tick, you are at the back, and Nala in front of Dick. Fair?
Uh-huh.
And he's going to turn, as he takes to the front of the group, looks right back at Tick again. No more of that.
Of what? No, serious. I did a lot of stuff.
Good. As he'll turn back around and grab the end of the reins and begin walking.
Just mutter to
Things,
myself.
all of the above.
Yes.
Just mutter to myself. Why is Big Brother so confusing?
All right. So you begin. Oh, thank you very much for the raid, our friends at TLG, bringing lots of folks in. Thank you so much for that, guys. We appreciate it. And we are playing in the world of Greyhawk, but we do play in the world of Aired on Sundays, which is a TLG-based gaming world, and it's fantastic. No dinosaurs. Move on. All right. So who was on top of the Crodlu? Was that you, Lucius?
Lucius and Nida.
All right. Yeah, the Crodlu can carry both. The scales are smooth beneath your skin, and the creature seems to be very much domesticated, easily takes you, and as you begin to make your way down the valley, there is a chill wind now that is coming, the contrast to the heat of Rawl's eye as it comes balefully down during the day. When it's gone, as we've mentioned before, it gets very, very cold at night, and you already feel the chill as you move forward. You are heading deeper into this valley, away from Tyr towards Silver Springs. As you walk along, party, I would like to know what you, Lucius, are thinking or seeing as you walk along.
So question about how we're riding on this giant animal thing. Is it like you would ride on a horse, or are we sitting side by side? Like, is she sitting in front of me?
No, so it's not that big. It's actually think of it like a really large ostrich. So you're seated back to back, or like front to back. Yeah.
Okay. So first of all, Lucius isn't comfortable with this much touching. Like, yes, he took this seat because he didn't want to walk. He's tired, but he's just very stiff and uncomfortable with being this close to her. But it's evening, right?
Yes.
We're traveling. Okay. So as you know, he's very attentive to what he's looking at. He's keeping an eye out on the horizon, making sure to like look back and forth. But very uncomfortable and slightly distracted by her being so close in proximity.
And especially after what conversations they'd had before, Nida's very tuned in with the fact that Lucius is probably very uncomfortable with the amount of proximity, and is basically like leaning forward as much as she physically can to try and alleviate that as much as possible. So they probably look really uncomfortable, like two siblings that don't want to be next to each other for very different reasons than they actually don't want to be next to each other.
Love it. And sorry, go ahead.
Lucius will just lean forward a little bit and just be like, "It is okay. It is okay." And he's still stiff as a board, just like, but he doesn't want her to be uncomfortable because he's uncomfortable. So he's like,
And she doesn't want him to be uncomfortable because she's uncomfortable. And it's just we're playing chicken of kindness chicken.
Yeah.
All right. As you move your way down this canyon, is anyone doing anything differently? Or are you going to travel all the way through the evening? Is that the plan?
I think it is better for us to travel at night with the amount of water that we have. Okay.
All right, party. As you travel through the night, let's do some random encounter checks here, shall we?
I think prior to us finishing our journey, I would like to, once we get maybe an hour or two in, to hand that second bag back to Tick.
Okay.
Are you going to feed it to him?
Yes. Yeah. Enola, if you will switch spots with me, please. Thank you.
I'll walk forward and take the reins.
And he will unlatch the other side piece so that the Crodlu is still balanced, and walk back to Tick and hand it up to him to start pouring little by little. And once we've gotten probably about through 1/4 of the pouch, he'll just hand the rest to him to be able to drink.
Okay, so you gave him another full 5 gallons?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right, and you lost, as Midsummer said, 93% was saved, so you lost about a quarter of a gallon on the first one. So we'll call this, now if you're going at a more measured pace, 9 3/4 gallons of water that Tick takes in over a period of several hours. This will get you back you go ahead and roll a d6, add that to your con, and then roll a second d6. For each 5 gallons, you will add that back to your constitution score as you are rehydrating. If you had the full 14...
Come on, Rory! You tool!
You didn't roll a 1, did you? Did you really?
Did you roll 2 1s?
No way! God, Rory!
John,
Are you using... You're not using my dice. Again, did I not teach you last time?
Can we have a reroll to use your dice?
Didn't I teach you this last time, Rory?
John, I have used so
You
many
have to kiss
dice,
the
including
dice
yours.
first. That's how you get
Oh,
the
kiss
good
it?
luck. Kiss it.
Yeah,
And then
reroll. Those were first tests. Those were just tests.
All right, so you get those, and once you have the full, if you do get the full amount of water back, which for you would be again 16 gallons, you will be fully hydrated. But for the time being, you went really deep into your ability to sustain yourself. Going that dehydrated for 3 days has really deeply injured you, Tick, and so you struggle along. You feel the water coursing through your system, but you still have this deep, desperate thirst, almost overpowering.
Nice. Me too, bud. Me too.
2 questions. One, the first one is, do the other days of dehydration, like, is it cumulative? So, like, one day, the last day was 16, and there was still the 2 days prior.
Yeah, but you don't have to, like, it's like sleep. You don't have to get all of it back in one setting, right? Okay. It's just a function of once you have enough for a full day, rehydrate yourself. The constitution damage is cumulative, but you don't have to get then, you don't have to drink 16 gallons for 3 straight days to get back there, no.
Okay.
Right. Second question is,
right?
Yeah, that would not be. It's not physically realistic. Yeah, that's not required. So
now that I've had my hand slapped, am I using the blue dice? Because I re-rolled. Otherwise, I'll take the 2 1s. I find the 2 1s humorous.
No, you keep the 2 1s. But next time,
come on.
next time you use the dice I gave you, Rory. All right. We switch gears now. Kalak. Your mind lights a fire. You spring up, bursting from the chains that bound you to this altar. You see the torturer as he staggers back. His cowl falls back from his robe, his eyes wide, rolling back into his head, and a little bit of drool, of spittle, falls down his mouth as he staggers away from you.
I'll continue to maintain eye contact with them, and my eyes, up to this point, have been like a deep, deep crimson red. But as I walk up to him and I realize he's now paralyzed, like he's prey at this point, my eyes shift from being that red to more of like an orange color. I look around the room. I don't know if I've had a good look at it.
Yeah. So as you look around, you see there are various implements of torture. There is a large table to the side where there are saws, pincers, flames, torches that are ready to be set to flame. There are 2 doors, one which is like a caged door, iron bars on it to the right of you, and then behind you is a wooden door.
Okay. So I'm gonna cradle my broken arm, and do I still have the shackles on? Did I just break the chains, or do I still have the shackles?
The shackles are still on your arms. Yeah, you broke the chains.
Shackles are. The key. Give me the key.
As his head lolls back, you feel something you've never felt before. The alien mind of this human creature. It feels flaccid to you. It's weak. Like their skin, so much less than the chitinous exoskeleton that you have. The minds are similarly weak. You've never really tasted this before, but it's so easy. As you speak to him, you see again his head lolls further back. Drool starts going down his chin, but his hand involuntarily moves inside his robe and pulls out an iron key.
I'll take the key from him, from his hand, and I'll undo the shackles. Just thankful that the weight is gone, and kind of look around the room and is there anything else in there? Just torture equipment? Are there any?
No, I mean, do you want to search the room?
I'm looking for something to cover myself with, like a cloak or like a robe or just.
Sure. So you search through the room. You do find not a cloak that would fit you or a robe per se, but there is a cot in one corner that has a large blanket across it, brown and tan colored cloth, and it is large enough for you to throw over yourself.
So I'm gonna put that kind of around my shoulders a bit. I'm gonna leave the shackles on my two like upper arms that I'm gonna use to like hold it closed, so it kind of looks like maybe I'm still chained up. My arms underneath are not going to be locked up.
Okay.
And I'm gonna which door leads to the exit?
As you inject yourself into his mind further, you sense incomprehension. The question you're asking, there is no answer to.
I say, show me, and I in our like psychic landscape, I form the room that we're in, and I kind of like back out of it, and I'm basically asking him to paint me a picture of the like what are the passageway, what passageways lead from this room, and trying to give him a way to answer in a way that's not like verbal, like he can try to construct it.
All right, as you do this, you sense a parting further, and even as you're doing this, you know that you're causing irreparable harm. What you are doing to him right now, there is a violation of mind that he will never recover from. And you see his eyes close, and you can sense in his mind there are several different exits, different ways to get out, but he knows what you're asking for. And it is through the door behind you, downstairs, and a clear short path into an alleyway behind the tier arena.
I'm gonna position him in front of me, and I'm just gonna say, like, walk the path. And I'm just gonna try to follow behind him. I'm really, Kalak's hoping to be led out by this guy, just to get out of the arena itself. Like, get out of whatever locked door is keeping him in this alien hive that he doesn't want to be in.
He stumbles forward, and one thing you note is his movement is not natural. It could attract attention. As he stumbles forward, it's a halting, staggering motion, but he does move toward the door. He opens it into the hallway and lurches out.
Is there any like wine around or anything like that? Like alcohol or some sort of strong scented candles or something? Just so I can
Sure.
throw it on him to make it seem like he's intoxicated.
All right, so you stop, you turn, and Kalak knows enough about these wet-skinned creatures to know they are oftentimes imbibing such things. You move over, you find there is in fact a bottle of strongly fermented liquor that sits on this table. You pick it up and you walk over. He still sits unknowingly, mind-numbingly still, and you splash it on him to create this scent.
And to me, it's probably really powerful. Like the scent of the wine. Well, I mean, it's also mixing with like the sense of the sweatiness inside this whole arena and death, honestly. So Kalak kind of like tries to shield himself from the strong scent. As
you walk into the hallway, You can hear the sounds of footsteps all around. He lurches several steps down. He goes down the stairs that you saw mapped out in his mind. And yes, there is this strong fermentation. It's very, very uncomfortable for you. But as you get further down the stairs, you hear, "You there! What are you doing?" And you see a Templar, one of Kalak the Sorcerer King, not Kalak the Thrycreens, Templars, comes walking forward. He has dark robes and a symbol of Kalak about his neck. He reaches beneath his robes and he's watching you and the torturer as you approach. "What are you doing?"
I'm gonna try to get the guy to say, taking a slave to the market. That's my goal. I don't know what's actually gonna come out as Kalak the Thriker says, like, puppet this guy, but that's what I'm trying to get across, is him just to be like taking a slave to the market, or like he's useless, like, oh, his arms are broken, he's useless in the arena now, kind of.
Okay, as you give him this sending, and you hear a gurgling, and as his mouth opens, we switch to the rest of the party and go back to that scene. All right, so as you travel through the evening, and Kalak is in his difficult spot, party, you travel through the evening, and you have no issues as you're traveling. You sense, you see some predators that move on the horizon. You see flitting images on the tops of some of these cliff, but there is nothing which bothers you during this evening. You travel all through the night, weary, tired, chilled by wind, Tick constantly begging for more water. But you travel through the night. So if you want to do anything else during the evening, let me know. Otherwise, it will begin to be dawn.
I'm assuming we are going to try and rest. Are we swapping to being nocturnal now?
That was the question for you guys.
I think it is wise to not travel during the day. I can, when we set up camp, I can try and bring in a little bit more water. The closer we get to Silver Springs, the easier it will be for me. But I'm assuming it's still very much like the first time I used Hidden Spring.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. I can get a little bit out of the earth. It will last longer now. It's a bit stronger. But
How far are we from there?
we were about a day and a half, I think.
Correct.
Before. So now we're
Maybe a day's travel. Mm-hmm.
about a day's travel. We have one more day.
I think it would be best to travel during the night until we have a little bit more food and water.
Well, we should be able to. I start waving back and forth. My body starts waving back and forth. We should be able to make it today.
Lucius is still sitting on the back of this beast, and now he's like chewing on a piece of jerky or some rations or something. I think we should rest.
If we have to get into another fight, at least it would be at nighttime when it is cooler, versus during the day when we will sweat out everything we're working so hard to get.
Is there anywhere nearby us that has like an overhang, so at least we'll be a little bit shaded while we rest?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, again, there are cliffs all around you. Yeah. So if you know which direction the sun is coming from, as you're heading to the northeast, the sun will come up from the east, so you can go to the opposite cliff side and have shade.
Yeah. Well, once
So
we
where? What?
As soon as the sun, I think, is starting to rise, we'll make camp in a spot that has some rocky outcroppings, things that we could, if need be, hide behind.
Got it. All right, so you do so. You manage to find a nice area as the first rays of Rawl peer over the horizon, the promising condemnation of heat. You know it's coming, but you are shaded. You have still 10 gallons of water from the Crodlu, which were found. Also the water that you recovered from the Tattered Flag Raiders. And you move into the shade. Tick stumbles, almost falling over in weariness.
Nida's going to sit off to the side, is first going to the tattoos light up once more as she draws her fingers across the air and pulls a small ribbon of water and puts that into her water skin as she gates in half a gallon, and then is going to meditate there for an hour, casting Hidden Spring.
All right.
When you pull
Which
in
now
the
lasts
water,
for 2 hours. So double the amount of water.
when you pull in the water, is it like streaming through the air?
She's doing it very close to the thing, knowing Tick's whole deal right now. She normally would make it a bigger motion because it's more comfortable for her, but she's pulling it as close to her water skin as she can.
So
You don't have
for-
to do that so close to you can do your big show like you normally do.
You currently do not have my trust with water. And while I am gathering it from the ground, I would appreciate if you did not come near. As she sits cross-legged, one hand to the rocks, and the other kind of hovering above her core. She meditates for an hour.
Hearing the conversation, Anala just walks over and stands directly in front of Nida, between Tick, just crossing her arms and staring at him.
I'll get down, fall, get down to both my knees, plume of dust, and just look at you. With this, not viciously, I'm just looking at you, just like peek behind. Look at you.
DM, is the sun up yet?
The first rays of the sun are coming up. So yes, it's dawn.
Lucius will look up towards the sky and kind of just trying to figure out where they're at and from where the sun's going to be hitting at the hottest port, and seeing if there's any shaded spots he can go kind of lay in to rest, to sleep.
Okay.
That will help protect him from the sun when it's up at its highest point.
Okay.
Does he find anything?
He does. Yeah, I mean, there are plenty of places here for shade. So, you know, again, with these cliffs, there are lots of little nooks and places where you can, you know, there's ample places to find shade. So, Lucius, go ahead.
Bugs.
Lots of shade. Yeah, like 3 people casting lots of shade on Tick right now.
Oh,
Lucius kind
Actually,
of
4 of them.
puts down some, like, his pack, if he has his stuff with him still, like underneath him. He's learned his lesson from burrowing in the sand. He doesn't want to experience that kind of pain again.
you didn't like the agony beetle?
No, not particularly. So he like is like very sure to be laying down on top of the hot sand, like on top of his stuff in the shade, and just kind of like closes his eyes. If he had a hat, and do one of those, kicks his feet back with the hat over his eyes, like takes a snooze.
And does so. All right, anyone else?
The only thing that Zepatok would be doing is making sure the Crowdlu was taken care of.
Okay.
And then also checking for where the best spot would be once the sun was getting to the point that it would just beating on us so that we could go across the way and find another spot to set up.
Exactly. Yeah, because that will happen. Okay. So you kind of scout out the next area to go to.
Yeah.
All right. And for the rest of you, anyone else doing anything?
For Tick, within a few minutes of looking at Nida and back into Nala, and eventually in Nala, you'll see I sway even more as I just start to fully fall forward in your direction. Completely tired and exhausted and falling asleep, falling forward.
If you're like close enough to me that you would like fall against me, I fully just sidestep and just like.
So Tick's face is just like landed next to Nida.
Thunk! Yeah, cloud of dust. Tick hits the ground. His head bounces a bit, and Anala just sort of steps back and gives him a look of consternation.
I'm out.
All right. So as you all do this, who has leveled up? So we're resting now. Who levels up? Let's go ahead and let's roll some dice. Tell us what you've done with your feats and skills. And let's start tonight with you and Nala.
Oh god. Oh no.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait, hold on. Where's my sheet? Oh no. This one. I got evasion because I'm level 2 now. So yay.
Nice. Very nice.
And I've got developed poison immunity.
Ooh.
Very nice.
I don't know what I'm rolling. Is it a D8?
Yeah, it'd be a D8.
Okay. See, if I roll a 1 here, you can't yell at me for not using your dice because I don't have them. So.
Oh, what? I didn't give you any? Oh, I'm sorry. We'll fix that.
I rolled a 6 though.
Okay, there you go. Very nice. So 6 and your skills, feats. That's awesome. Very nicely done, Anala. You needed that. So you have 15 hit points now, right?
I believe so.
Yay!
Keep changing that on my sheet.
Thanks for watching us, everybody. Yes, level ups. We appreciate everyone joining us today and all the support of ye mad chatters. You guys are awesome. All right. While she's figuring it out, who else has leveled up? Let's go to you, Lucius.
I have not done anything for skills and feat. So doing a little bit of that right now. For skills, we're doing, all the bardic stuff, bluff, escape artist, all that fun stuff. What am I rolling? A D8?
Yes.
Wait, gotta kiss it first. Never forget to kiss with good luck.
It was the blue one.
No.
I rolled a 3. Don't kiss
Yep.
for good luck.
Okay. Very nice. So 3, and your con bonus is...
I should have that, shouldn't I?
Main page.
Well,
Do I add a con?
this is Rory's job. Rory should be helping you with this stuff. What are
Yeah,
you doing,
gosh.
Rory?
Rory's downstairs and I'm upstairs. He's
No, I meant in the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, come on.
If we're...
he helped me figure out my spells.
Okay, all right, well, that works.
I realized that I'm a bard, and so therefore I have spells. I figured out spells, so I can send those over to you if you'd like.
And you took healing spells, right?
I did
Good.
some of them.
Because we're at the point like if Nida goes down, we're all fucked.
No, we just got you. Don't worry.
What?
I can tell you what spells I picked if you want to.
I would love to know. Yes.
Okay. So for where is it, Rory? So for my cantrips, I have Daze, Mind Affecting, Detect Magic, Known Direction, Mage Hands, and Message, Language Dependent. And for my level 1, I have Cure Light Wounds, Heightened Awareness, and Unseen Servant.
Wow. Lots of good options. Super useful. All right, who else leveled up? That's it?
Yeah,
Just
we're all
easier.
2 now.
Okay. All right. We're all level 2. All right. So nicely done. As you rest, do you try to rest throughout the entirety of the day? Do you want to wake up later in the day? I know you're going to move to shade, so you go side to side in the shade, but is the plan to rest all through the day?
Night is going to take first watch, as her spell takes an hour to cast and then 2 hours of sitting there collecting water.
Okay.
And then if anyone is significantly injured, she will...
Oh, and hold on. I'm sorry, Nida. You double your water output from the last time. You actually are able to hit a spring here. You actually get double the amount that you got from the last one.
Like, double the rate?
Double the rate. So you're getting a gallon
Sweet.
instead of a half. Yep.
Cool. Then I get 2 gallons total.
Correct.
Cool. Great.
Yeah, you found a little pocket of water in the crevices of the rock, and you're able to pull more water. Galana's, she speaks to you, and you can feel it. And as you reach in, the earth gives of her moisture.
Beautiful. As she puts that into her own water scan. As she's become water mom.
Water mommy.
And then if anybody except for Tick, because he actually can't get healed by a healer's kit again because I've already done it today for him. If anyone is significantly injured, she'll take another hour and heal them.
Okay.
Is anybody significantly injured?
I mean, Zeph isn't looking great.
Cool. I will spend an hour tending to Zeph's wounds. I'll spend a little longer than an hour so that it's over the rest.
I said Zeph isn't looking great. I didn't say he was going to be sitting around to get healed.
Hey, he can reject the healing
Yeah.
if he wants to reject the healing.
Everybody in this party is so worried about being touched. I love it. It's everybody's all freaked out. So as you heal, go ahead and you can make your rolls.
Is Zeph letting me heal him, or is he just being stubborn?
He's being stubborn.
Okay.
Because he's definitely showing more worry for Tick. And also by this point, he would have put his pack underneath Tick's head. Definitely opened up his shirt a little bit to get some more airflow in there. And kind of dabbed a little bit of the water from one of the sacks across his head. And about this time would probably be when he would be asked about healing. It might be best to watch over Dick for now.
All right. And Nida's going to finish off first watch during the day before she takes the rest in the second day, or the second half.
Okay. It is toward the latter part of this watch, as you're pulling the water from the ground, being rebuffed in your attempt to heal Zephatok. Nida, you lift your eyes, and you can see coming from the direction of Silver Spring, so headed towards you, toward Tyr, there is a cloud of dust. It looks like some sort of a large traveling group coming straight down this chasm in the cliffs, moving toward Tyr, coming toward you.
Does it look like they're traveling with, like, fervor, or just, like, traveling at a normal pace?
Yeah, go ahead and roll d20.
Cool. Which one do I want to do? That's a 16.
As you look, no, leisurely pace.
Okay. Is anyone not sleeping currently?
That would be up to all of them.
Over.
All right, go ahead. And by the way, I'm sorry. You asked about the con. So yes, whatever your normal con is, you add that to your hit point bonuses. Temporary con deficits for dehydration do not affect permanent hit point additions for Constitution. So go ahead and add it like it would be normally, separate from your dehydration state.
So Zeph is still awake, so Nida will turn to him. Seems to be, we are going to have some company soon. They don't seem to be moving with, intent. But...
That is good. Does it seem... He's actually going to look over to try and see for himself. To see what the heck she's talking about.
As you turn and look, it's very easy to see. Slow movement. Now, as it's getting closer, you can make out a palanquin being carried on the backs of several men, bare-chested, and then perhaps a dozen armed guards surrounding.
That is not good. Is there any good place to hide here?
You can attempt to, scurry like already Lucius was in a little long. You can try to hide, but yeah, it's not a great spot for hiding. There are no caves that you can see in immediate vicinity. You could try to scale the cliffs if you wanted to, but much as you've seen, these are channels that go down these canyons. This is clearly a main thoroughfare that's being traveled, and they are coming straight towards you.
Zeph will lean down, and this isn't for him. Zeph will lean down to where Tick is, and just lightly kind of tap him on the face, like, hey, Tick.
What?
You don't need to do anything. I just want to give you a heads up. I'm going to be scooping some earth from under you. I'm trying to cover you, to hide you a bit. You don't need to do anything. There are people coming, and I'd rather them not know you're here. Good. He's like, you can go back to bed, though.
All right, so you're covering Tick with dirt.
So, well, I'm using my last spell.
Okay.
With expeditious excavation. Expeditious, there we go. Excavation. So it only works in a 5-foot cube, but I'm going to be scooping from underneath him a 5-foot cube, moving it out, and almost as a little barrier, as if it's part of the cavern wall.
Okay.
So that he has almost 10 feet of cover for him to just kind of sit into, and actually might be even more comfortable for him to lay in, now that it's kind of like a little bed. But then he will put his stuff in front of it, and hopefully that's enough cover.
Hopefully.
And Nida's going to move to the other side of the canyon.
Okay.
She is, aside from Lucius, the most presentable of the group.
Right.
Smart. Zeph will follow
and
her.
is unthreatening.
Okay.
Maybe he shouldn't follow then.
So Tick is hidden.
Tick is hidden.
What is everyone else doing?
Is this group coming from behind us or the direction we're going?
The direction that you're going, they're coming from the northeast, so they're apparently headed toward Tyr. And in fact, Lucius, as you look, you see the livery and colors you recognize. This palanquin is from Uruk, and the slaves which are bent beneath it, the man, as he gets closer, there is a corpulent, middle-aged man lounging back. He is taking figs, popping them in his mouth with indolence. And the men that surround, so there's 6 that bear the palanquin that this man is reclining upon. And then there are a dozen of these guards around him, armed. You see almost all of them have obsidian. 2 of them have metal blades. 2 carrying long swords at the front. This is obviously a wealthy man. And in fact, if you would look, Lucius, at your Discord, as the entourage gets closer, the men pull up, and you see the heavy-set man atop it. What have we here? Oh, travelers. Ooh, look at you, delightful. As his eyes travel up and down Nida, then Lucius. Who else was visible?
Zephytalk.
Everybody but Tick.
Yeah, everyone but Tick.
He pulls up, and the entire entourage stops.
Previously to him pulling up, the rest of the group might have noticed a wave over Lucius of maybe a demeanor you haven't quite seen yet, even though he's quite moody and you've probably seen a couple. Kind of stone-like. As they get closer, as this man and his caravan gets closer, you see Lucius kind of roll back his shoulders and just take on a not approachable look, but a self-assured, a in control leader.
Yeah, and before the group approaches us, actually about when he's looking up and down, Nida's going to in casting enhanced diplomacy on herself, her tattoos shift and move. She's trying to draw attention towards herself and away from the person that he sees, that she sees kind of posturing.
Wow. Okay. Very nice. Yeah. So exactly. I love it when the dice tell this. So exactly as you say, he sees Lucius stiffening, and for a moment, you see a look of concentration. And then he is distracted as your tattoos flare with their azure vibrancy, and his eyes come back to you. You are traveling in dangerous places, just so few of you. What have you seen to the south? Are my ways clear? I do so enjoy leisurely travel.
Well, yes, we haven't encountered too much recently. You might want to stick to traveling at night when you approach Tyr. I assume that is where you are headed.
I know. Traveling at night is for those who lack the men that I have. I travel...
No, it is because we did encounter some unsavory folks during the day.
Oh, do tell. What manner of unsavory folk?
Oh, just some brigands that luckily, another actually very generous individual helped us dispatch.
Oh, brigands.
As you say, we are such a small group.
Delightful brigands. Such dangerous folk in these wastes. How did you dispatch them? You don't seem...
I certainly did not. As you can see, I am not much of a fighter.
Perhaps I should see a little bit closer.
Anala steps in front immediately.
John, do I recognize any of these slaves?
None that you recognize as individuals, but as I mentioned earlier, these are clearly men from Uruk, and you can tell this is a man of nobility from the city of Uruk, but you don't know any of these by personage.
Okay.
You must forgive my Vendari. She is quite protective.
Your what?
Vendari. I am Vita-san. You are coming from the direction of Silver Springs, no?
Oh, yes. I briefly passed through that brackish backwater village. I am on my way to Tyr. I could use some company. It would be delightful. You or... His eyes flicker back over to Lucius.
Sadly, we do have pressing business to be held. We are traveling towards Silver Springs ourselves. as I must meet with other members of my order.
Okay, roll diplomacy, please.
When he says or,
Yes.
like, for company, and he looks back over at Lucius, Lucius raises his head, and it doesn't say anything, but just acknowledges that Lucius piques his interest.
Do I know you, boy? You're very pretty. I don't normally forget a pretty face.
Lucius's demeanor again changes, and he gets this wide tooth. I think you'd remember me if we knew each other.
I'm sure you're quite right. I'm sure you're quite right. Would you like a ride upon my palanquin? I have ample water. These figs are quite sweet.
As tempting as that would be, which let me assure you is very, very tempting. And Lucius does a head to toe. Need to stay with my companions here and be on our way.
What was your diplomacy check, Ashlyn?
Oh, I didn't even hear that.
Okay, yeah,
so-
sorry.
Okay, that's with an additional +2.
Ride his palanquin and eat his figs.
Okay, that's 15 + 7, so
22. All right, so
I like enhanced diplomacy. It's helping with my anxiety right now.
all right. Now his eyes scan over the dirt where Tick is, and he does not see him. He
Does
comes.
his attention-
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Does his attention go back to her, or does it stay with Lucius?
When she says this, it flits over to her, so she has his attention for the moment. His eyes lift up, scanning. He's looking around. Again, the picture of perfect repose. He has not a fear. He has an ample group with him. Clearly, no noble travels from Uruk to Tyr without ample power. And he feels quite comfortable as he lounges back, and his eyes cut back over to Lucius.
If his gaze lingers on her for even just a second,
It did.
Lucius will take a step forward. Not a huge step, just a slight step forward. You say you're going to Tyr. May I ask where you'll be staying? If I find myself back that way, I'd love to see you.
Ah. Well, now you're talking. Darling, what is your name?
I have many names. You can call me whatever you'd like. Once I see you in Tyr again.
Oh, my, you are delightful. Well, I will be staying in the Sorcerer King's palace, of course. But if you speak my name, you can be seen in. Just ask for Counselor GHA. And, I like this. This is delightful. I had no idea I would have such a chance encounter upon the roads. There is something so remarkable, familiar. His eyes then cut back to Nida, that 22 on diplomacy. Well,
Here's what I found.
I don't know who Siri was talking to them, but
Somebody's
With
Alexa
that,
did it.
Lucius will take a bow, a deep, deep bow. Come back up.
would you mind doing that and perhaps a little bit of a twist to see all sides?
Maybe once we see you in Tyr, if we may. May we be on our way. And with that, he kind of bows his head again and comes back up.
Well then, this has been most fortuitous. You there. Give them water. He nods, and you see one of the slaves kind of looks over surprised, reaches beneath the palanquin and unhooks another heavy sack. This looks like a solid 10-gallon sack of water, and you can see now there are several that are tied underneath. It's what is bearing so heavily upon these men, because only Counselor Jatar sits atop it as far as people go. So the water, the figs, the palanquin, all burdening these men. As this 10-gallon sack of water, you see the man that brings them forward to you, his shoulders burnt and blistered from sun, his pate bald, his eyes steely. He holds.
I would like to be, Zephatok would like to look to Nida and just bow to her like a mistress and move forward to take the water from this man. Shoot. What was the name?
Lucius will give another smile. Thank you for your generosity. It will not be forgotten.
I will be thinking. Don't forget me. You won't, will you?
I could never.
And you said I can call you whatever I like.
Anything you'd like.
Well then, I will await that. Are you sure you wouldn't like to join me? It's much more comfortable. I will. My palanquin will bear you toward here. You need not walk these desert wastes. Why wait?
I promise you, you will see me again. I will come and find you. You will not be disappointed.
Oh, delicious. Well then, if there's nothing else, I would advise you be careful. I can smell. There is a bit of dust up to the east. I think a storm may be coming. I will hasten along. You should be quite careful. I would not want you to miss our appointment.
I will be thinking of you just as much as you're thinking of me. And with that, Lucius will take a step back and bow again and come back up.
Well then, be careful, won't you? And I bid you farewell, friends. He leans back, rubs a hand over this huge belly, kind of ends it suggestively on the south side of the belly as he watches the group, and his palanquin bears him toward Tyr.
He's just a walking ick. Not even a walking ick.
He's not walking.
When the handoff was done, Zeph would bend, because he has to bend down to the guy to grab it, and he'll just make eye contact. And I couldn't find it in my notes. I know it's in there somewhere, but the name of the group that Zephatok has worked with before. The Alliance.
Really? Really, Josh? Really, Josh?
Alliance. Sorry, dude.
And the Veiled Alliance, yes.
And he...
Richard Cranium.
He'll just give words of strength. Stay strong. The Veiled Alliance sees you. We know where you are now. And that was all while they were having that whole talk and interaction.
Okay.
On top of them.
His eyes, as he handed over the water, he had started to turn away, this quiet desperation in his countenance. When you say these words, his attention is arrested. He lowers his head. We have friends in Silver Springs. If you are of the Alliance, speak with them. We will be freed one day, brother. And he moves back to the palanquin. They resume, unless someone else is stopping them or doing something.
Absolutely.
You don't want to spend more time with him? Counselor Jatar? No? Okay. Thank you, Rachel. As the palanquin recedes in the distance, and you can see the first bits of orange rays of light as the sun is getting lower in the sky, probably an hour to 2 hours before dusk.
Well, hopefully he takes my advice about traveling at night next to Tyr, and meets our good friend, Mr. Worm.
Lucius doesn't take any of the water, doesn't acknowledge anyone. He just starts walking off.
You see Lucius turns very different in his comportment. And as Counselor Datar and his retinue recede in the distance, Lucius just starts walking.
Nida's gonna follow. She's not saying anything, she's just keeping company until she's told to go away.
If he hears you at all behind him, he will say, "Leave. Do not follow me. Do not be with me. Leave."
She nods and walks back, just silently.
As Counselor Datar recedes in the distance and Lucius walks toward Silver Springs, Tick picks dirt from his nose, and we go to our one and only break. Blue Box will be back. We're going to take our quick break here. It'll be about 5 minutes. Don't leave us, and thank you so much for joining us all. We will do a Tailspire giveaway later today as well, and thank you, Mad Chatters. I'm going to let everyone collect themselves because there was a lot of subtext and emotion in what just happened there, so want that to kind of settle a bit, and we will be right back after the break.
Oh, like I won't forget you. The picture is you with a dagger in your back. And gut.
Oh, just you wait, guys.
Oh, yeah. That like actually gave me like an anxiety spike.
Oh, yes!
Oh god, that could go so wrong. This could go very badly. Willow, what are you doing?
We were just, I mean, this is, as a DM, I love creating, NPCs and characters that are fun and beloved, but also, make the bad guys bad. And if you hate their guts, then I think I'm pretty good at creating some memorably bad villains. I think Becca looks really upset with me right now. I'm good at making hateable bad guys. Thank you so much. Yes, exactly.
I appreciate that you make the bad guys bad, because this is the part of D&D that I really enjoy, is coming in and being able to role play and like just attempt to convey the either frustration, the hurt, the anger, whatever come through. That's one of my favorite parts about D&D.
Well, exactly, and I think that's something that you do so well, Becca. And frankly, the pieces of this character that we've worked on together, I think, are very exciting, and it's just neat to see these things come to life. So, well done.
Boo.
At least Josh seems normal tonight. I'm happy to have Josh back to normal.
Watch your mouth. That's cool. That's super cool.
Stay with us, everyone. Thanks for watching.
The worst villain is the fumble table.
Truth.
Yeah. Oh.
There we go. Okay, now my notes are all together. I, for some reason, had notes in like 3 separate places.
I need to be better at writing them. I'm really bad at writing notes when I'm talking because I cannot talk and write at the same time.
Okay, I got
Having
you.
the phone. So
Well, no, because
helpful.
I do it on a Google Doc. Really, we should just have a communal Google Doc.
No, that sounds too easy.
Not all of us can have notes like Manda.
Not all of us can have noses like Manda.
You.
You know.
I don't know, Josh, what you have personally for a water count, but our water count is 27 gallons right now.
I know that we're back up to
Amazing.
20 from the 10 given to Tick.
I have none.
We have 27 in total from what I know of.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Good.
have 0 on my person.
Okay.
No, you do. You have 5 gallons on your person. I gave you one of the
You just
bags.
took 5.
Oh, you gave me one of the
I
bags
gave
that
you
were
the
on it.
bag.
One of
Okay.
the bags.
I
It's
saved
my
2
name
for
is
Tick.
on it. It's still on the.
I have it. I have it all recorded. Who got what?
Cool.
What's been.
Yeah,
Don't worry,
the elf
check
crew
well.
has 1 5-gallon bag. Nida now has 1, 2, 3.5 gallons in her own personal one.
Okay.
Yeah, the closer we get to Silver Springs, the more water I'll be able to pull.
Yeah.
Because at its full strength, it can pull up to a gallon every 10 minutes.
Also, everyone heard Counselor Jar Jar, right?
Yeah,
Thanks.
Counselor Jabba.
Yeah, Counselor Java. Amazing.
Josh,
Oh,
don't you have 2 bags
that
on
was
you?
all I could picture. Was just Jabba the
2
Hutt.
bags?
You got one from Counselor.
Oh, that I just put right back onto the
That's going in
bird.
the collection.
Yeah, like all of his water. He doesn't have any water in his personal water bag or his water skin. All of it's on the chocobo. After this, we'll be jumping right back to Kalak for him to be able to make sweet, sweet sounds and beauty with the jailer. Ain't that right, Kalak?
Am I that predictable, Josh? How did you know? I'm not predictable, I guess.
No, I'm
What-
just
what
a
I missed?
DM. You're gonna be making some sweet romance roleplay back at the prison to get out.
Oh, with my torturer puppet?
Yeah.
Heck, what else would I do with him?
Both of you are gonna seduce the guard.
Oh yeah. I love you, man.
Bow, chicka, bow, bow.
The guard now, or the torturer now has the voice of Kermit the Frog. I love you.
Right, because Kalak can really screw with someone's head.
Yeah. Like, gosh.
Where are...
I just love the thought of like Kalak trying to understand like how a human would be nonchalant and then trying to like
Exactly.
do so. Like,
Exactly. No, that whole thing with Kalak is that's super fun. But I'm giving you a little bit of artistic license with this.
oh yeah.
Okay. All right, we are ready to come back, and thanks everyone for hanging with us as we resume episode 7 of Sea of Dark Sun. And let me get this. Reminder, tomorrow night we're going to be joined by Kurt. You know him as Cuventus in the Discord and one of our mods. And we're talking Ragnaborg. Ragnaraborg, if I'm saying it right. So the Morkborg gaming system and a special module that is being created. Yes, I am playing Opus 1. Joffrey?
John, if you can look at chat for just a second.
No.
You have his name misspelled in the shadow. So
I have whose name misspelled where?
John.
Joffrey's name
Is misspelled in what?
in his command in the shadow.
Oh, in the command. Oh, okay.
Too many ends.
Yeah, I'll fix that.
John.
You know what? I've had enough of you, Josh.
We all come back. Somehow Zephatok is drowned.
How'd you know?
That's okay. That happened to me last week, right? Or last time we played, because of my
No.
dino comments.
Oh. somehow Anala and Zephatok are both drowning.
All right, welcome back again, everyone. Thank you for staying with us through the break. We will do a Tailspire giveaway today, and we've used a lot of physical terrain today, but also Tailspire, but mostly Theater of Mind. This is going to be a heavy Theater of Mind game today. But if you hadn't seen it, these are the minis. They were acknowledged earlier by a couple of our chatters. These were all done by Fraley. And Patrick, you know him on the chat. He's one of our admins, mods, and he did all of these, printed them out, painted them for us, along with a lot of the terrain that you've seen us use for the last several sessions. And so here at Blue Box, we use a combination of these various mediums. So we do a lot of Theater of Mind. We use the terrain, the physical tabletop stuff. That's what we started with. We had no VTT when we started Blue Box. I think we ran for a good solid 2 years with only Theater of Mind and physical terrain. And then when I saw Tailspire, I liked it better than anything else that I had seen. And I know there are people that like, Fantasy Grounds and Roll20 and Owlbear Rodeo, and that's fine. I mean, everyone has systems that they can use that they like. But for me, the 3D visuals of Tailspire were the best. And I just love working with this platform. So I use all of these different mediums when we're doing the storytelling. Also want to say thanks for the Mad Chatters and I'll fix it. But all the Mad Chatters, all the bits and the gifts. And we want to say thank you for that. We will have, as I mentioned, Kurt on with us tomorrow night. Then we have Friday Night Crusades on Friday. And then we're back with Tears of Aird, which has been absolutely fantastic on Sundays. Don't miss that. You've seen some of the Tears of Aird cast in the chat tonight. Rachel is in the chat, or was earlier. Cameron was in the chat as well. That whole crew is amazing. Great story in the world of Aird, which is, again, from our sponsor, Troll Lord Games. And then on Sunday afternoon, we will have Fall of Red Dawn, and that crew will be back. So we do the double header on Sunday. So looking forward to all of that. And again, thank you to everyone. Great. Thank you so much, Kendrick. Sorry, go ahead, Amanda.
Did you decide to run on the 5th Sunday?
I did. Yes. That came up. So yes, thank you for. So my players, they literally begged me. And so we will be running on this Sunday. We won't have Daisy Bell with us. Daisy Bell will be traveling, but we will have the rest of the crew. It'll be a fun session on Sunday. But yeah, she can attest. They did beg me. All right, Kalak. You there. What are you doing? And you communicate through your puppet. He drools, stutters. I'm taking a slave to market. You see his brow knit. Are you all right? He steps closer. The blackened cassock. He opens it a bit and reaches in for something.
Kalak's just gonna stay still, and just hope the guy notices or smells the alcohol or something. I don't know. Kalak is just Kalak's kind of one of I think it's best if I just do nothing.
Okay.
Right now.
Have you been drinking?
I'm gonna have him nod his head or shake his head. Oh no. Actually, no. He'd be ultra. Actually, no. Kalak would be super literal. He's like, yes. The guy nods his head.
He nods his head. We don't sell slaves. What are you doing with a cream? He steps forward, looking at you underneath the blanket.
Oh man, how tough is he? What kind of armor is he wearing?
He's not wearing armor. He's a Templar. He's got a black cassock, a robe. But Templars can pull typically upon the power of the Sorcerer King.
Yeah, this guy's bad news. This is just going from bad to worse. My sneaky skills are terrible.
Yeah.
Kalak's gonna just shove the guy that I have controlled, just Do I know if there's a lot of closed doors between me and like the outside?
Okay, so yeah, what you saw was
Blocks
down the
of any
stairs.
bolting.
Yeah, you saw it was down the stairs, and then it was a left when you saw the image in his mind, assuming that was correct. And there was a door to get out, but it took you into an alleyway behind the arena. So ostensibly not that difficult.
All right, I'm gonna as the guy kind of grows closer, I'm gonna just push between the torture and the wall and just like shove sideways with those two arms and just push the torture into the Templar just to knock him down or slow him down, and Clock's gonna pull. You can.
Oh,
Like, this is the longer this goes on, like the worse. And maybe if he gets out that door, he has a chance.
okay then. So we're gonna roll initiative. Go ahead and roll a d6 for me, John.
I can do that.
As you push your controlled torturer into the Templar, I have a 2 on the die.
I got a 3.
Ooh, that close. You shove him forward. You fool! Oh, he staggers back. Kalak, you're gonna bolt down the stairs?
Yes. I'm gonna double move, run.
Dash, double move, run. It's okay.
Yeah, all the things.
Your claws scrabbling along the stonework. Down. Go ahead and let's do make an acrobatics check. You're not truly doing acrobatics, but you're trying to sprint down steps with a. Have you doffed the blanket that's covering you, or are you still?
I'm not really hanging on to it anymore, but I have +7 to my acrobatics.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and make that roll.
So that'd be Thrycreen. I got a 5, so I got a total of a 12 for this run.
All right, you scrabble down the stairs. You hear him shout, and he's actually tangled up as he throws the torture off of you. You hear him curse, and as he utters harsh imprecations, you hear him also begin to intone as he is calling upon the power of the Sorcerer King. You don't know what he's saying, but you feel he is drawing something from the Sorcerer King. As the Templar begins to cast his spell, you hit the bottom of the stairs, you turn the corner, and we're going to go to the rest of the party. We'll be back to you in a bit. All right, players, as the Palanquin group vanishes in the distance, Lucius walks forward, leaving you behind. Party, what do you do?
Leave.
Well, that went about as well as it could have.
You did a very good job.
I figure if I'm going to be the most official looking one of us.
Official, maybe. Definitely the best looking of the group.
Lucius.
You're too for God.
Lucius comes stomping back.
Oh.
I can't say that.
Like
His
rage.
elven ears, like.
Lucius comes stomping back, and you can just see by his demeanor, he's oozing, like, rage.
Gross.
He comes
Oh.
straight up to Anala. How stupid are you? Do you know who that is? Do you know when to keep your mouth shut and just stay quiet for once?
Inala looks at you very confused, having not said anything the
No,
entire.
not Anala, sorry.
Yeah, okay, I was confused too. All right, Nida. You meant Nida.
Sorry, Nida. My bad. Come stomping up to Nida. How stupid are you? Do you know who that was? Do you know when to keep your mouth shut?
No, but mostly
This
to
could be one
the
of those times. If someone comes up to us from this point on, stay quiet. You do not need to draw attention to yourself. You are the most valuable person with us right now. If anything happens to you, we are screwed. Do not put yourself in danger. Do not put yourself in the center of attention. Stay quiet. Stay behind us. I understand you're trying to protect us. You need to stay safe to keep us alive right now. And then he'll turn off and just storm off again.
As soon as that interaction happened, Zephatok was like, as soon as that storm up happened, realized he wasn't in the hot seat. He kind of did the whole like, and just like turn and walk away back towards Tick.
Inala made a movement to like step between the two of you, listen to what you're saying, just kind of step back and just like
She got the approval.
Yep.
yeah.
There's an initial like shock element, but not as maybe as much as Lucius thinks she might have been shocked by someone telling her to keep her damn mouth shut.
Yeah.
As she's probably heard that speech from Inala so many times.
Mm-hmm.
She knows better than to argue back. And especially seeing how worked up Lucius is. It hurts because her own core is to protect people, especially seeing how uncomfortable Lucius is and knowing a little bit about what he's endured. Only a little bit, but enough to recognize that. She accepts that he's upset, rightfully so, but she wasn't wrong either. But she's not going to argue with him, because that is counterproductive.
Is it?
He understands people well enough to know when to let a wound sit.
Lucius hasn't. Oh, sorry.
Oh, and she just lets him walk off.
He's not going far. He's gonna kind of like stomp off about 20 feet, look over his shoulder. We need to keep going. It is starting to become night. We need to move. Put as much distance between us.
Agreed.
Is it becoming night?
It's becoming day.
Oh, I thought it was becoming night.
No, we slept.
No, it's you slept during the day. It's getting close to night now.
Yeah,
Close.
yeah.
Yeah, there's still an hour or two left in the daylight. And as you're talking,
it's ending the day and becoming night.
Yes.
correct. Yes. Did I say something different? I thought I was considering. Yeah. So it's getting to the end of the day. There's about 2 hours of daylight, maybe an hour remaining. As this exchange happens, Tick presumably emerges from the dirt, or no?
When either he is fully waking up, because he's cozy now. He's in the shade. He's kind of got his own little den. No wind, no sounds, major sounds. So either if he's waking up or has a really good sleep, because he is rough. So whichever comes first, he will then wake up.
Zeph's gonna be sitting on the mound and just kind of watching over him.
Becca, stop. Gosh. It's bad enough with Josh. By the way, I want to make it clear, this is a meta mechanic. The slender vial of viscous pearl liquid is the full heal potion for Inala that was given last time. So at some point that needs to make its way to her in the mechanics of the game.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Zeph isn't waking up Tick. He's letting him rest, making sure that the Crodlu?
Crodlu.
Yeah, the
Crodlu.
Crodlu the Crotty-Loo.
Crawdad?
The Chocobo is fully taken care of, and it also resting in the shade as much as it can.
It does. And once again, Inala bursts into spontaneous flame. Stop that, Nanda. So the Crodlu, you see its head lifts, and it seems to sniff at the late afternoon air. A languid zephyr drifts past, and a slight change can be felt in the air. What was once just the arid, dry wind seems to gain a certain sense of intent.
All right. He would have given the Chocobo some of his insect protein that he had found the day prior.
Mm-hmm.
To give it some form of sustenance and food prior to the move.
Okay.
And then at this point, he will wake up Tick. He will cross-leggedly sit on Tick's chest. Hey, time to wake up. He's just kind of like patting his face back and forth.
Not ready to fight. Not just a little bit longer. Just a little bit longer.
Little brother, we must move. A storm is coming in.
Brother, my eyes widen. Like, wait, brother, why are you on my chest? What's going on?
Just in case you woke up screaming. It's a good countermeasure. As he will stand up and pull himself.
It's a good thinking, big brother.
He'll get up.
What?
Over the mound. Get up. We need to move quick. But not quick. You can take your time, but get up.
Why don't we just hide in here?
Sandstorms find their way into every possible space. It will tear the skin from our bones. We must move.
Yeah, don't want to be here. Yep. And I'll start climbing over the mound.
It seems Lucius is going to take front. Nida? He'll offer a hand to get up on the Chocobo.
Yep, she'll take the hand. You can probably just like one hand.
Yeah, honestly, he just like hands, but he also he's staying a good distance away while he does so. All right. I'll take the position in front of Tick. Lucius, if you want to take front, you can. I'm used to these deserts, so.
Lucius is familiar with this area. He knows it well, the rest of the path. So he will take front just because he is needing to focus on something. He is seething still. He is so worked up. He needs to do something, and that's why he didn't want to stay there. He just doesn't even acknowledge. He just keeps going.
Zeph, hey, you hold out the reins. If you're taking front, you need to hold on to the reins.
Lucius takes it.
Thank you.
Still not acknowledging you, just...
And he'll take his point behind, and Nala, if you wish to take the spot behind Nida. And Nala.
Sorry. No, Nala will shake her head and just walk beside.
All right.
So Anala is in front of Tick's all the way in the back, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Tick's all the way in the back with Zevatok in front.
Anala's in front of me.
Nope. Tick's in front of you. Or
yeah,
Zevatok's
but so is she. She's a
yeah.
little bit further, but she's still as long
yeah.
as she's in front of me.
That's menacing.
Or safe.
Yeah.
What about me stabbing
For me.
him?
So is Nida behind Lucius?
Everyone's behind Lucius.
Well, yes, but like, is it like...
You have Chocobo.
I'm on top of the animal that you're leading.
Okay.
So it's you, Chocobo, Nida, and Nala next to Zevatok, then Tick.
Okay, gotcha.
All right. as you move toward the northeast, getting closer to Silver Springs, and it is still a good hour remaining in the day. Rawl's baleful eye still bears down, heating your backs. But again, this sense of intent, there is a mineral scent to the air. What was heated sand and rock becomes imbued with a certain sense of electricity. The wind picks up. Nothing violent, but the promise of violence.
Zephyrdok, is this a familiar feeling for you?
I'm so sorry. The line was like something from a rom-com or a romance novel. The promise of violence laid in his eyes. He held himself from it.
You've been reading too much Sarah J. Maas.
Yeah, I don't know what you're reading there, Josh. That's
First of all, Sarah J. Maas.
Hey, Throne of Glass is better.
It is Sarah J. Maas.
I will. I know,
still
but I will
Sarah J.
stand
Maas,
behind
but
that,
we're-
Amanda.
Okay,
1000%.
whole other conversation for later.
But yes, you'll not. Yes, many a time. If I was just by myself, it'd be much easier to get through. But with a group, much harder.
Is there something that we should do to prepare, or?
Not really. Cover your heads, faces, eyes as much as you can.
As she then looks down at herself.
Yep, it's going to be rough for you.
Who told me that it will rip your skin off?
Effectively.
Great.
Well,
If we get caught in the thick of it, oh no. We could have our skin laid from our bones.
you'll see
Not fun.
Tick start. You'll see Tick start to take off his neck covering and lean or reach out, I guess, to Nida and say, "You got a lot of skin showing, and here you go."
She'll accept it, kind of wrap it around her core, especially since we're going to be traveling at night, and again, she is not very fully dressed.
Thank you, Dick.
You're welcome.
And thankfully, Anala already has it all covered.
Mm-hmm.
Lucius just pulls his hood up a little bit more, so like pulls it down where.
Is the abs in front of the chest still all exposed?
No, but it's the head we need to worry about.
Oh, okay, yeah,
He
of course.
pulls it
of course.
across his face a little bit to protect his mouth, nose.
Yeah. Zephyrdok, he has his garb, even though he's shirtless and all of the miniatures and all that, he wears leather armor and he's got his head wrap that he'll just slowly begin to wrap around. And then he does the triple wrap around the mouth and then back around the head. Just leaving the little bit of his hair poking out from the back.
Anal is going to just take one of the wrappings that she has around her arms and move forward and gently put it around the eyes of the mount and tie it off, and then just resume her place back at the side.
okay.
While
And
she blinds the mount that I'm on top of, Nida's going to just kind of, because she spent a whole day on this thing. We've grown close, you know. Is just going to be petting the Crodlu, trying to like, sure, doesn't panic being blinded.
as the DM's abs are better. That's so true. Yes. Well, they were at one time. Maybe not right now. You sense again the wind is moving across the canyon. So it's coming sort of from an east to west direction. As you move forward, you look behind you and you see a solitary figure that appears to be approaching, coming from behind you.
Do we all see?
I mean, someone sees it. I had you seeing it first, Nida, but I'm assuming you could. I mean, it's not.
As soon as Nida notices it, she's going to, because she's looking now behind her, and Tip's tall enough, we can make eye contact. And just very quietly, without really making a sound, is going to go look, and then behind.
Take a look behind. Look forward.
You see a single figure moving oddly. The gait looks unnatural. Still several hundred yards off in the distance. But something is strange about the way it moves.
You'll see me pull my bone club out. And just in a low voice, just to carry across the wind forward into the rest of the group. We might not want to necessarily stop yet, but just so you all know, someone's approaching from behind us. I might be able to get one swing in before I have to take another nap.
If we keep moving, if they're so far behind, we should be able to keep ahead
They're
of them.
not that far behind.
Are they moving faster than we are?
As you look, yes. In fact, the figure seems to pick up speed.
Well, I'll just take it, big brother.
A loping gait.
Nida's going to reach her hand back, making eye contact with Tick, and extend out her hand, her tattoos glowing.
I want to hold my hand.
And then as soon as it touches, casting Cure Light Wounds on you.
And
I like it when you touch me.
Dick, we need to talk about that another time.
She just wait.
Yes, I
wait,
know.
wait. How much do I get healed?
You get healed.
I'm taking this.
7 hit points.
7 hit points of healing. As you feel this infusion of Galana's power and energy into you, have you had any more water? Have we given Tick any more water, or?
No.
He's had 10.
I've taken the 10 gallons.
He had 9.5 gallons, well, 9 3/4 gallons.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
But no more since then. After resting, because you would
I don't
still
think
require.
we didn't say anything. I think we probably would have had water as we were going.
Right. So you still had 10 gallons from the Kank. You have another 10 gallons, which came from Counselor Jatar. And then you had the water that you had also recovered. So I need to know how that water is being apportioned.
10 to Tick, because we will hopefully arrive in Silver Springs. It is worth keeping him a bit more alive. So I would have let him take the 10 we got from Counselor Buttface, and then
So you gave Tick the 10 gallons.
yes.
All right.
Nida's using her own supply, so she's good.
Okay. Tick, no need to roll then. That's going to have been 20 gallons of water made available to you within the space of a 24-hour period. Even at max requirement of 16 gallons, you have sufficiently rehydrated. So, you still don't feel well. It's going to take you a few hours to feel better, but your constitution score is back to normal. It is you first, Tick. As you look up, you realize this creature, which approaches at some speed, actually has something in its mouth. Kalak, the taste of that Templar's arm has been quite nice as you have made your way from the city of Tyr. Oh, the look on his face when he tried to pursue and did not know how quick you were. The spell that was on his lips fell silent, and you have gnawed. You have now a chunk of bone, fingers still, you're saving those for last, and you have tracked this party. Remember, this is not cotemporous, so this was all happening immediately after the combat that happened with Tick. This party has been on the road now for 3 days. You did all of this 2.5 days ago and have tracked the party. You went past, you saw the corpses, you saw the blood, you saw the bodies. You avoided the palanquin of Counselor Jatar and merged into the rocks, hiding yourself. You now catch up with your quarry, for some reason fascinated with this half-giant creature which you felled in the Tier Arena. But as you look at them, you realize somehow instinctively, even though human customs are foreign to you, having a mouth full of human arm may not be the best way to approach them.
As Kalak's chewing the arm, like the fingers, are going while he's chewing on the tendons. I'll put the arm away, of course.
Put away the road snack.
No, he's straight up just like Woody from Toy Story.
Toy Story.
Thrycreen are like big, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's 11 feet long, right? His thorax. And so where his thorax and his abdomen meet, on his back he has there's a little shelf kind of thing there. And so I'm just gonna kind of reach back and just put the arm there. And assuming I have some sort of rudimentary weapon, like a spear or something I would probably have a sharpened bone from that Templar.
Yes.
To be honest.
Yes.
And so I probably have a waistband, a leather waistband that's just got some human bones hanging on it. And so Kalak will approach, and I kind of have hands up, all arms kind of out, palms up.
As he surreptitiously tucks the human arm.
Yeah, and seeing what looks like, this scene unfold, touching hands with Nida, and feeling the surge of healing come in, I will turn and look again. Just looks like a hungry little thing, and take off towards. Well, even if I recognize it to be Kalak, take off towards Kalak to go pin him to the ground.
You see the half-giant thundering towards you, Kalak. His feet sparking up, or flying up dust behind him as he's approaching in huge steps.
Can I tell if that he's weary? Does he look?
You would hear me screaming and
I would say.
Raspy,
weary.
I would say. You know him, obviously. You recognize him. You tracked him. He looks thinner than when you last saw him.
How fast are giants or half giants?
Oh, he's gonna. So he's got double speed. So 30 feet of movement becomes 60 feet for him. Yeah,
his base movement is 30.
Yes, 40 is his base.
40.
Yes.
So I probably easily in the sand, as you're charging at me, I just walk backwards. I just keep you 10 feet away. I just match you. I just scurry backwards in front of you. And I'm gonna basically speak to you in your mind. You feel like a slight knock. In your mind. Kind of unintrusive, there's a bird at the window with a message.
And just see me halt, a little curious to what's itching my brain. Just.
You found your pack.
I don't really know how to respond to you.
I marked you. We are pack-kin. My venom flows in your veins.
That's gross.
So are you still pursuing him, or have you stopped, or are you guys speaking as you're chasing?
We're still like,
Yeah, it's still.
Yeah, when you did that, it's something that Tick hasn't really. I mean, there was a brief moment when I think you tried to do it in the arena, but this is something that's not normal to him. So it was like, when you distract a dog, and it just changes the whole mindset at the moment, and it's just like, whoa. And so the responses are kind of quite literal. Like you say, you marked him, but there's no mark on him, right? So his responses now is a little bit of shock and a little bit of like, no, you didn't. I'm not in trouble.
So did we stop running? Do we establish that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I found you. You fought well.
Yeah, I did.
You escaped before I had a chance to speak to you.
Do I have to speak out loud to you?
Yes.
Okay, well, you can, I guess, think to me as we walk. You don't speak out loud, right?
No, this is in your mind.
Okay. Okay. Well, I should probably head back. They kind of get upset with me from time to time. You can come with if you want to think on the way.
You see Kalak, like, you probably can't even see him at this point, but you see, like, the Thrycreen head and, like, shoulders kind of go, like around the side of Tick. Like, to like, look at you all.
Zepha's closed the distance between the group, is kind of the middle point between the group that's probably still going at this point, and them.
Ned is turned like fully around on the Crowdloo, just very like
And
Lucius,
Nala,
it is
As you do this,
no idea
you-
any of this is happening. He's just continuing to leave.
Just what? As you turn the Crodlu, Nida, you feel the beast moving with unrest as the wind continues to pick up, and you lift your gaze. You see, at first, what looks like a smudge on the horizon, but it churns and grows darker.
cool. Knight is gonna then just call out the people who are being slow or falling behind. The storm is on the horizon. If you made a friend, I guess bring your friend, but bring your friend faster.
I made a friend. That's the one that gets mad at me and gets me in trouble. We need to go.
Do you accept me into this pack?
I don't know. Well, and you'll see a sense of expression change on my face as you see him portray a sense of respect in the sense like, I mean, you're a great fighter. I would like to try that again. I can't speak for them, but if you coming means we get to fight again, then you come. We'll fight again. So yes, if that means you walk, I don't want to get in trouble. We need to get moving.
Kalak waits patiently during this, like,
Monologue.
kind of stumbling words. He's just like motionless. None should travel alone in the desert.
Yep. So you should come with us. Yep. Like you
So
see, you pick up on this absolute impatience from Tick because he is going to get yelled at again.
So Kalak walks side by side with Tick back to the group.
All the while,
He just kind of awkwardly like looks at everybody.
All the while, Zephatok's been backpedaling, just walking, keeping that middle line distance between the group and these two. And
I spit out a couple of teeth.
While flying beside him is Skrit. And he will make a few clicks to Skrit. Skrit will come in and come around you, Kalak.
And you see this rust locust, wings fluttering, and it circles around.
I greet it.
I watch their interactions and listen.
Make a roll d20, John. Just give me your raw roll, please.
Okay.
Your teeth are someone else's.
19.
19. You see there is an affinity. There is something Skrit resonates with this Kreen. Still comes back to you, Zeph, but yeah, he somehow feels a sense of kinship.
He'll nod to it and click back and forth with Skrit, and then look back towards Kalak, and he'll just nod, and then will then turn his back and close the gap to the party.
As soon as Zeph seems to appraise that as, okay, this is fine, Knight is gonna settle back on the Crodlu as well. Because she trusts Zephatok's judgment there, more so than Tix.
Kalak's gonna say to Tick, where are you having the underlings take you?
I'll look at you. I really wish I didn't have to speak out loud to you. We are all going to Silver Spring.
So you know the path to water. Good.
That one that yelled, she knows the path to water. Usually, I am the exact opposite of that. I am like the sand.
Good.
Dry. Oh, no, I don't.
That is the way.
Oh, yes, I am like the sand. Like, I suddenly, like, he's trying to figure out how to say, like, he basically consumes a ton of water. Thinking he has to communicate differently to you. And then when you start to give this, like, oh yeah, that's good.
Like your literal responses are being met by
you.
my literal responses.
Yeah, and like he starts to agree with you because there is that sense of respect he has for you and your fighting ability. So it's like, oh yeah, yes, you're right. Good to be like sand.
So Kalak will broadcast to everybody. Like everybody gets kind of like that itchy, like there's something speaking you can't quite hear, but you feel like if you're cool with it or you accept it, that you would be able to in your mind.
Yeah. Nida would be confused, but accept that. He seems currently unthreatening.
Lucius outwardly seems completely unaware that there is a new member to the party. He's just kind of focused. And as the storm around them gets worse, the internal storm is getting worse as well.
Even as you say this, that smudge is rapidly morphing into a behemoth, a monstrous tapestry of sand and wind. It's growing, roiling across the surface of the Badlands. Difficult to say exactly, but probably no more than a mile off now. It's devouring the horizon as it comes closer, and the Crawdlu's eyes go wild. It's pulling and straining beneath you.
You softskins should find shelter.
Yep. Any ideas?
Can I get a roll to lead them or know where there's a place that's safe to hunker down, or do we just have to outrun it, or?
So again, it's coming cross, so it's coming east to west. You're headed more or less north and south, so you can, anywhere in these canyons, it won't. Sheltering a leeward side of a cliff will not protect you. These sandstorms will scour, but there's something else. As the wind grows stronger, as the storm approaches, You see there is something at the forefront of this storm. Something more formidable than just sand. Amidst the shifting, tempestuous maelstrom, there are forms. You see specters, faces, animals, beasts, humans, dwarves. Their forms move, jostle, and then recede inside the sand. I need all of you to make a knowledge local check for me, please. Knowledge local.
That's a 203.
I need to know if anyone has higher than an 18. Dirty 18.
Yeah. Nope.
Anala, it is spoken among your people. This is the Wraithwind. The Wraithwind, the storm which scours the Sea of Dark Sun a handful of times each year. At its forefront, the lives of those that is claimed. This is no ordinary sandstorm. This is death incarnate, and it approaches.
How far are we from Silver Springs?
You're still a good day's travel.
And
Would I
was
know-
going to- Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, if Kalaka's familiar with this, would he know?
What did you have higher than an 18 on your knowledge check?
I did not.
No. So only Anala has heard of these.
Gotcha.
Correct.
Correct.
Inala shifts slightly so she's looking over at it with her little eye that she can see out of, and will mutter, probably just loud enough whoever's right around her can hear, the name Wraithwind, and look slightly panicked as she's trying to figure out what to do.
Zephathok, is there a way to shelter?
John, can I see any form of any shelter that would work for?
Not here where you're at. If you can either move forward, you can move backward. You can try to find shelter. You can try to scrabble up the cliffs, but there is nothing here where you're at.
No, we gotta keep. We have to keep moving forward as quickly as possible. If you see anything, say something.
I'll show you this hard-skinned guy that might be able to help. He's with us.
We are not skinning him just yet. The last option.
Oh, I didn't mean that.
But do you still have the chitinous shells that you took off of the kanks?
I have a few, yes, but I don't know if it will be enough for
No.
really any coverage.
As the wind grows harder, the sand begins to, this little flecks, the forerunners, the portent of danger, begin to sting your skin. With the force of pounding drums, the storm begins to descend upon you. It scours across. You're still not in the thick of it yet, but it is right on the precipice.
How fast can the mount run?
You can find out.
So, Anela's just going to look at Lucius and just yell, "Run!"
You sound very quiet, man. Is that me or?
It might be me. Is that better?
Yeah, there we go. Thank you. Yeah, so even as you yell this, the Crodlu, unless Zephathok is going to do something, he's the only one that could stop this. Its eyes wide with fear, it lets out a cry and begins to sprint forward, jostling.
Hold on.
Is Lucius still holding on to it?
Yes.
Right. At this point, is the party still walking, or?
I don't know. You tell me. What do you guys do? I mean, the Crodlu is running. What's it?
We had started to move as quickly as we could forward.
What is Lucian doing? Lucius doing?
will have stopped. Just completely, like, still. The storm within is raging as, like I said, mirroring the outside. He is not here right now. He is repressed. He's back. He is 7 years old in a dark room.
Nida's going to reach, wrap one arm around the neck of the Crodlu, reach forward, pull the reins, and if that pulls Lucius towards her, so be it, while recognizing that he is fully shutting down. It's like, hey!
And Nala runs up to Lucius and just slaps him across the face. Run!
He's back. He kind of takes in for a second. He hears what you're saying. He takes a look around.
As you look around, sand stinging in your eyes, the world is being obliterated by this ferocious wind and sand that is just making visibility a mockery. You can't see much of anything now as it strikes your face.
He runs. He lets go.
Yep.
And he
But
runs.
that was... I'm going to take the reins and I'm going to send the Crodlu going after them. I'm making the assumption that the big boys can run faster.
Is Tick running?
Yeah, I mean,
I
with,
thought-
with the way it was all going, so Tick was trying to figure out what to do, and then the storm kicked in, and those three took off. So I was trying to be like, hey, the one that seems to like the desert, what should we do? And everyone took off.
So Kalak is gonna kind of turn to Tick and be like, "Are you showing your dominance by staying behind in danger?"
Yeah, but now it's time to
Because running would be very wise.
Yeah, and and you see me start to run as I start to gain distance on the rest. I would imagine
And Kalak will
maybe not
follow.
the Crodlu, but catching up on
The
Lucius.
elves
then.
have elf run and are fast as hell.
Oh yeah, that's what I was
That's
gonna say.
I think you just
And
leave
Nala's,
it.
and Nala's
about
grabbing
that.
those reins and elf running.
Yeah, I was like,
Oh no,
should-
I'm taking full reign.
No.
Okay.
Anala is.
I'm
The storm grows.
But at the moment.
Oh shit! Right.
Stinging sand and now larger pebbles, bits of desert detritus pounding you with brutal abandon. You see sticks and rocks going past you. I need each of you now to roll a saving throw. You can choose either fortitude or reflex. The wind is snatching, pulling at you, trying to rip things from your possessions, pull your items away, pull your water away, pull your weapons away. You can either choose with dexterity to try to hold it nimbly, or with a fortitude save, so reflex or fortitude, constitution or your dex can be used. Either one, you can choose a DC 14. I need each of you to make this roll. As the cacophony drowns out all thought, all conversation, the Crodlu wild-eyed rushing forward, you see up in the canyon ahead, it splits to the right and to the left. You can go in either direction, and I'll pull that up here if I have the right one. You can head either to the southern or to the western side, that channel, or you can head to the upper side channel.
Would Nida know vaguely which direction Silver Sphinx is from where we are?
They're both heading in that direction.
Okay, cool.
Well, Anala's at the front of the group, so wherever Anala's leading the
Yeah.
chocobo.
So
Yeah,
which
so Amanda, you're muted first, and second,
howling wind.
excited to hear what you have to say.
We can't hear you over the wind.
Is one of them clearly going to at least offer some protection from the wind?
All right, as I'm going to answer that question, what was everyone's roll? I needed that save at 14.
17.
All right,
21.
17.
okay.
It was a what or what save?
Reflex or fortitude? So either your dexterity or your constitutional, holding on, speed, strength.
So, John, using your beautiful, thick, hot, and heavy die, I got a nat 20.
Let's go! Okay, nat 20. All right, and what was yours, Lucius?
18.
18.
Sick.
All right, and Kalak?
18.
All right, all of you managed to hold on. You keep a steady grip on your garments as you look, Manda. Anala, I want you to roll d20 and add your wisdom bonus to it, please. You rush forward, trying to see through the sand. Pebbles, rocks flying, bouncing, striking violently. The shrieking that comes over the top more than anything else. The sound of countless souls devoured by this storm, shrieking from the inside of the maelstrom, make it difficult to concentrate. As you look ahead, what's your roll?
13.
You feel like to your left, that might be a better path, but you're not sure.
She goes the way, whatever the first thought is, that's the way she goes, so left.
So you see Anala, she splits off the Crodlu.
I'm pulling the Crodlu. I have the reins and I'm pulling it with me.
It breaks free. Your grip, not strong enough. As the Crodlu breaks free, it bolts to the right. Carry.
Nida, as soon as it breaks free, Nida's gonna try and, like, while holding on to its neck, like, grab at the reins and try and, like,
Is Lucius able to follow?
redirect, but
Yeah, Lucius definitely can follow, but the Crodlu has broken free of any grip.
Yeah.
So the Crodlu goes right, with Nida bouncing, jostling atop it. What is everyone else
Go
doing?
right.
Following.
Lucius goes right.
So, okay, so Lucius went right. Nida and the Crodlu went right.
Right.
Nida, you went left.
No. Anala.
Anala was thinking about going left, but
Vegas.
That's what I meant. Anala went left. Zephatok, you said you followed, but you followed who?
I'm following the
Crodlu?
Chocobo.
Okay.
it's going well.
I'll give a shout out to Kalak.
Shout out to my boy.
Not always dominance. And I will go left and chase after Anala.
The Crodlu has the water.
Yep.
The Crodlu has the water.
That one's by
I was
itself,
like
though.
busy shouting at Tick, and Kalak goes after
Yep.
the Crodlu.
That one's by itself. I'll see you on the. Hopefully.
It was
So
good to see you again.
You too. And yeah, Tick is purposely following after Anala because she is, you know, as much as she makes her threats and everything towards Tick or her offset demeanor towards him, she is now by herself, and ultimately Tick must protect above anything else those who are smaller or weaker. So he goes that way.
Super weak.
John, how quickly would I have realized that I no longer have the reins in my hands, and then how wide of a gap is it between the left side and the right side?
it's about 30 feet. So the cliff side mounts up on either side, but the visibility now is 5 to 10 feet. You hear the shrieking of the wind. You just feel it rip from your grasp. You don't actually know which way it's gone. Now you're completely lost in the maelstrom. I'm going to have you make a perception check. Everyone go ahead and make a perception check. This is going to be at a DC 22 to even have proximity of visibility for each other.
Oh,
That's a no.
Do we add anything to it?
Perception.
Did you get a nat 1? Did you get a nat 20? Yeah. I guess we've swapped places. I rolled
I have a
very low.
7.
A So who had higher than 22?
19, but no.
No?
By 1.
You have a 1?
No,
by
by
one.
1.
Oh, by 1. Oh, by 1. Okay, you do manage, you don't see, but you feel. You know that you have lost connection with Nida, and you feel that even as you thought this was the better direction to go, she has gone the opposite direction, but you can't see her.
Do I realize this though before the cap?
You're right at the split. Like you haven't gone. So if you'd see on the table if you're looking on Twitch, you're right at that split. You can't see her. You have no visibility, but you have not gone down that direction yet.
Okay, so she gets lost in her head as she's running, and she realizes this, and
You feel panic welling up.
all of a sudden, she kind of shifts, and it looks like she kind of phases, and she's suddenly 10 feet towards the right.
Ooh.
And then, and she
The psionic wild talent of Inala manifests for the first time. You suddenly, just instinctively shift. It actually takes you through the sand, the maelstrom, and you can dimly make out the hindquarters of the Crodlu as Nida jostles, bouncing, grabbing onto its neck, trying to hold on to it. And Lucius is running alongside, correct, Lucius?
Ooh.
You're muted, sorry.
That's sad.
Lucius can't see for nothing right now.
Right.
So he's just trying to stay close, but as the storm gets worse, he starts to disassociate again.
Yay.
So that can play into him not being able to see. He's just going to start receding again.
Just blind running.
So as he disassociates, what's happening to physically? Is he stopping? Is he running blindly?
He slows. He keeps moving, but he slows. It is less of a sense of being present and more a sense of panic. He's cold. He's clammy. Even though he's in a hot desert with hot wind, hot sand pelting his body, he is chilled. He is staring straight ahead, but he doesn't see anything. He's back in a dark room. He's 7 years old, and he's not present anymore.
Zephatok, Tick, Kalak. What are you doing?
I am running. Go ahead.
So Kalak is charging through the desert, or through the wind, and following the scent of the Crodlu if he can, or sight if he can't smell it. And he's more, I don't know that Kalak would have like a super intense sense of dread like everyone else. So he's just kind of like trying to stick with the pack while he feels that they're all panicking and running around and being strange.
This is fun.
No, that's fair, and even his compound eyes better able to see through the storm, but also hearing the howls, the screeches of the specters which come across the top of the wind now. As you pursue, you see Nida bouncing. You see Inala suddenly. You recognize this. You see this shift in front of you. She's suddenly one place, then another. Tick, you were rumbling to the left, correct?
Mm-hmm. That is correct, and Tick will continue as the champion he is to continue running left, seeing nothing more than 3 inches in front of him, running left. Hard, running, yelling, Inala, I'm here, Inala, running, and obviously not finding her.
I need everyone to make that same fortitude or reflex save. As you rush forward, the Crodlu has full head now. He's in complete panic as he thunders forward. Sorry, Josh. I know. I shouldn't have said that.
16.
16, okay.
Oh, sorry. You were still...
No, you're fine. Do you need 14 or better? Does anyone get lower than 14? Of course you do, Rory. Anyone else?
Oh.
All right.
I used it.
Tick. Well, it can't be perfect every time. Tick, as you are running, shambling forward, no visibility, can't see anyone. This godforsaken place ripping things from you. You lose.
Yes.
Oh, of course.
My weapon.
You feel your club rent, and it pulls out of your grasp, and you see it tumble end over end 3 feet and then gone into the distance.
What? Okay, sure sucks. Anala, where are you at? I find you.
Party. As the storm descends, you feel the true weight and power of the Wraith Wind. It's not the sand. It's not the rocks. It's not the stones being hurled from the sky. It is the malevolence of the dead within it. You panic, running through the sand, running through the wind, searching for any sign of safety. The Crodlu, as you're riding on top of it, Nida, it bounces, it jostles, it screams. Sounds come from its throat that you've never heard such a creature make before. And then suddenly, there's a whoosh, and you find yourself in darkness. And that's where we will end Sea of Dark Sun tonight. Episode 7. And well done, bravo players. Great job. Great job. What'd you say? Did you say boo?
Boo.
Boo.
No, that was so well done. Nicely played, crew.
I don't work tomorrow. Like, we could go later.
Yeah, let's just keep going, John.
keep
We've got
going.
Why do you guys keep...
hours.
This is the same thing they did to me on Sunday. Okay.
Fine.
Okay.
There's
All right.
so much more.
No,
Don't you want to
no,
know about what happened?
No.
I do.
No.
All right, so...
My kids are at ballet. I've got another 30 minutes.
Okay, all right. So we'll keep going. All right.
No.
Josh, do you need to go?
Coaster.
I don't need to go. I just wanted food.
What'd you say?
It was food.
Food.
Oh, you...
Good. Let's go.
Okay. Yeah, you don't want to be the only one, Josh.
Yeah.
I feel you, Josh.
I'm starving. It's fine. Let's just keep playing. It's okay.
Yeah, I haven't had dinner either, so if that helps, I'm eating right when I'm done. So... we fast forward several minutes later. The party has found the ones that went to the north, the right side. The Crodlu plunged you into a cave, a cleft deep within the cliff, which offered solace from the storm. You hear the storm churning and roiling outside as each of you stumble in one after another. I'm going to roll. Nida, you took only 1 point of damage. Anala, you took 2 points of damage. A rock struck you to the side of the head. Kalak, you were undamaged. Nothing was able to damage your chitinous exoskeleton. Zephatok, you took 3 points of damage. Your larger form scoured, battered. Lucius, you took 3 points of damage, bloodied. You all stumble into the darkness of the cave. There is no sign of Tick. As the beating of your hearts thunder your breath, the Crodlu still screaming, it moves to the back wall and just huddles, shivering. You one by one manage to find your way into this cave As the storm rages overhead, no sign of Tick. And you see Lucius with the light that comes from the entryway just standing.
Knight is going to walk over and stand in front of Lucius. Isn't going to touch him because I don't want to make it worse. But it's just very, like, in as calm of a voice as she can. I need you to come back to us. Listen to my voice. Wherever your mind has gone, you need to come back to us.
Lucius just stares, like he's staring down. He doesn't see you, he's staring through you. And just walks. If you're standing directly in front of him, he just walks into you and through you and past you.
Out back to the sands?
No, like further into the cavern.
Deeper into the cave?
Cool. Great.
Like, yeah.
Because I thought you were facing the sands,
No.
and that was an immediate, like, whoa.
No. He's walking, like, pushes through you. Like,
Knight is going to try and stay as in front of him as he can because the, like, thinking maybe just the effort of I'm moving someone might draw his attention back to here without her actively, like, putting hands on him because she tries really not to.
he just basically, kind of like Tick did, like, pushes you to the side, like, just, and continues to walk further in, and just goes and sits in a corner, almost catatonic, like, he's not coming back. He's not.
Yeah.
He slumps down next to the trembling Crodlu, eyes vacant.
Knight is going to follow, and as she passes, I'm assuming passes Zeph, going to turn. Where is Tick?
I do not know. He must have split off. He was behind me a little bit. It should be fine.
He's in the storm.
As
You saw him.
As you interrupted him talking to Skrit, and he's gonna take three. He's like, there is a reason that this is the only one I trust in these times. And he will give it a nod, and Skrit will go into the storm. He has direction to find Tick. In the storm, seeing as locusts are very used to the sandstorms within the desert, and he can fly it fine. He's going to go get him and lead him back. I have to do this many a time. People will often, through dehydration, go off on their own. But you go to Lucius, Lucy.
Lulu. No.
Lulu.
Ludes.
That's gonna stick.
And Nala, as she stumbles into the cave, just kind of stumbles to her knees and just breathing heavily and just trying to recover.
The wraith wind rages outside. Bits of sand still come through the entryway, scattering across the surface. You hear the howling in the distance. You can sense the apparitions. Even though Skrit has traversed many a sandstorm, there is a little bit of apprehension that you feel, Zephatok. This is no normal sandstorm. Condemned souls wail outside. And your breathing begins to slow. Even the Crodlu stops its squealing. But Lucius, stares catatonic. The compound eyes of Kalak glow with a slight luminance.
What was his name?
Hick.
Tick does not die this way. And Kalak leaves the cave.
Let's go! With this, the Kreen turns, follows Skrit.
He pauses a moment, and he's gonna turn and look at Zephatok and kind of gurgle, and then he's gonna spit like the most giant clump of just Thry-Kreen funk on your chest, and then he turns and goes.
Thank you. As he'll take it, look at it.
It's just a slimy goober nastiness.
Partially digested. It's
Templar.
His finger.
yeah, it's clear. It's clearly a sign of bonding among the Kreen, but
Like he can find his way back.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh.
yeah.
John, would Zephatok understand this? Or
He knows bugs, right?
Yeah, I would say Zephatok in particular. You're a druid. You have the connection with. Yeah, I would say you do.
he just kind of. Yeah, all right. That's it. Just kind of like rub it across himself and then toss the rest of it back out into the storm. Actually, no, not back out in the storm. He'll just drop it. And he'll just nod and turn back to the group and sit by the entrance.
Nida walks over to Lucius and just kneels in front of him. Takes one hand and just very lightly, very tentatively, because so far nothing's worked. She doesn't want to like slap him like Anala did. Just places it on his hand, on like the back of his hand, very much in like a comforting sort of way, and keeps trying to talk to him. Lucius, talk to me.
Lucius grabs your hand, like not like aggressively. He just kind of like, there's a thumb that loops over your fingers, like acknowledging that you're there, but he's still just. And if you listen very carefully, you might be able to hear him say he's back.
You knew him.
If you were able to see inside of Lucius's head, to see what he is recessing into. He's in a dark room, the door opens again, letting in some light. There's a figure of a man. Lucius feels as if he can't breathe because he knows what's going to happen. He's seen this man before. His master has told him if he doesn't listen, this man will be back. Lucius dared to tell his master no one too many times. And now his master, the man who has taken him from his family, the man who has forced him to do unthinkable things, is starting to pass him around as punishment. This man, he's back.
Lucius, he holds no power over you anymore. Only if you let him. You are freed. Your chains have been broken, but I know that your spirit has not. You are stronger than him, and you are stronger than this. Come back to us.
Lucius is just there. His back pressed against the wall, presently and in his memory, trying to just be absorbed, not be here, just push.
Nida gives just a slight squeeze and just repeats those words over and over and over. She's not going to touch him any more than she is, only enough to let him know that she is there, that she is present with him, and is just going to reaffirm that over and over and over again.
Anala, Zephatok, as this is going on, are you doing anything, saying anything, engaging, watching, or attending other matters? What are you doing?
And we'll just walk over quietly and just sit beside them, just keeping watch over them, watching the sands outside.
Nah, whatever's going on over there, he's just sitting by the door. He's sitting by the entrance watching the storm.
Lucius, you hear the voice like a recitation, like a prayer, repeating these affirmations to you over and over again. There is something calming. How do you respond?
Not fully coming to. Like, understanding that they're in danger, but not sure how he got into this cave. Not sure where, that doesn't know the tick's missing, like, doesn't know really what's going on, but he's now present. He slowly sees that they're in a cave. He can see that his surroundings come back. He's not in a dark room. There's not a man standing in an open doorway. Realizing that her hand is on him, on his hand, and like lets go and pulls back.
She'll immediately let go. Give him that space.
Kind of clears his throat, and I will find him in Tyr. And when I do, he will remember who I am. He will remember what he's done to me and countless others. And I will kill him.
As you should. It is worse sometimes to leave scars that are invisible to the eye. And those who inflict those wounds deserve so much more than those who inflict just the physical. The mind is precious, as is the spirit, and yours is strong.
He's uncomfortable with all of this attention on him, uncomfortable with being vulnerable. So these words mean nothing to him.
That's fair.
They're like,
Right.
He's kind of like, okay, all right, you can go now. Like,
Right.
Stop talking. Like, he'll kind of just look up at you.
She picks up on that.
Like, give you this look like you're still an idiot. Like, you're not forgiven. Please leave. Like, just pure irritation.
As seeing that he is with it enough to be looking at her like she's annoying, Nida's gonna be like, okay, you're at least not numb. And that's enough for her in that moment. She just wants to keep Lucius from going numb. Even if it means that Lucius begins to very strongly dislike Nida, he's not numb. Because when he goes numb, this asshole wins.
Lucius just continues to sit there, just.
It is several minutes later. First, Skrit. As he comes in, careening sideways, you can see he has taken some damage. One of his wings, again, he's had a rough time here over the past several days. But he immediately goes and nestles up against Zephatok. And it is just moments behind. You see the Kreen comes walking in, pulling by the hand the form of Tick. As Tick staggers in, it takes a moment for you to realize he's groaning. When he turns, you see the skin on half of his face is gone. Cheekbone, raw and white. You took 14 points of damage, Tick. Are you still conscious? As he staggers in, you can see teeth through this side, a bit of jawbone, all the flesh scoured away. And he seems to be completely disoriented as Kalak pulls him in.
Knight is going to rush forward and approaching him, kind of looking to the Kreen that she doesn't quite know how to communicate fully with yet. Is going to reach up as far as she can, because she's short compared to Tick, and try and guide him to kneel down so that she can at least reach his face in some way.
Tick, you can roleplay this as you like.
I'll see you approach, still disorientated from all the heat and wind and sounds and the extreme pain, but seeing this face that always means healing and hope. As you approach and your hand comes up and gestures for Tick to lower, he will softly move down or bend down to both his knees, sitting back on his ankles. And when he looks and he connects eyes with you, whether it be from recognizing you or the sheer pain, you will just start to see tears flow.
Knight is going.
Not in trouble this time, am I?
Her smile is kind of soft as she, the same glow goes across her arms. She actually wipes the tear from his cheek and uses some of that water as she traces it across the bits that have been the bits of bone that are now exposed, the bits of teeth, the flesh that's marred by the sands. And to the best of her ability, begins trying to fill that space with the water from Galana, hold it there, and trying to knit as much of the flesh as she can.
You feel this. You feel the infusion of healing. It's searing pain. Tick, you were really unaware. As you went through the storm, you didn't even realize this had happened to you, but as the healing takes place, you feel the cold chill of air on bone and water on bone. You instinctively reach a thick and heavy hand up and feel the raw, exposed teeth and the water flowing beneath. The pain is searing. You do receive the healing. He gets how much again?
Oh, I haven't rolled that.
Okay, go ahead and roll it.
Let's roll one that doesn't have... Ooh, let's use the one that's bones.
There you go.
Oh, hells yeah. 10.
10. All right, so you receive a tremendous amount of healing. The flesh knits beneath the healing power of Galana. However, you see even where it's healed, it is disfigured. The flesh knotted and white. You lose a permanent point of comeliness. So take that off. Actually, 2 points. Sorry, I rolled
Oh,
a
come
D6.
on.
2 points of comeliness permanently removed from Tick. Heavy scarring on the side of this face, even where the healing has taken place.
Does he now get +2 to his intimidation?
It could help, yeah.
And so when I feel the searing pain and the healing, or the skin is all back, you'll especially notice as I'm still looking at you, a sense of fear is just rattled across my face. And looking around, eyes wide open, a voice raising both in intention and volume. I tried to find Anala. I couldn't find her. If this had happened to where,
Focus.
I gotta go find Anala.
She is here. Breathe. Take a breath. She is with us. And Nida's just going to rest her hand, seeing him like kind of pawing at that, is just going to rest her hand on top of his, it taking up very little space on his hand. Everyone is here. Everyone is safe.
His chest just making big breaths of trying to calm down.
She's like mirroring it with her own like breathing,
Then,
trying to like forcing him to maintain that eye contact.
if everyone is here, is everyone safe then?
Everyone is here.
You didn't answer my question.
Everyone is here and everyone is safe, yes.
Okay. And I'll just reach up and, like, basically pinch your little hand softly and pull it down. Thank you again for looking over me.
You tried to follow Anala.
Yeah,
Went to go protect her.
whatever she did, she has to teach me that. I tried, and I could not follow her. She is amazing in the storm.
And she's just amazing in general, to be fair.
And he just grunts at that. Thank you again.
She takes a look at the new scarring on his cheek, and can't help but remember scars that she helped heal before. Which side of his face is it on?
The right side.
Mando, which side of your face is it on? The same one?
Left side.
The left side? So almost a...
Talk about masking.
While Nida is helping Tick, Anala will get up without saying a word and just go over to the mount, take the eye coverings off, and take some water from it.
As the storm rages, Anala has passed the knowledge on to you that the wraith wind will blow for many hours. The group huddles inside this cave. There is a sense of foreboding, but also of belonging. These scattered, having no real connection beyond that of the Vendari and the Vitasan, having come together even on the battleground of the arena of Tyr, where blood was spilled in sand. as one stares off vacantly, fighting shadows of ages past. You are dehydrated, scoured, beaten, chased, but unbroken. You, among the sea of dark sun, beneath the gaze of the hateful Raal. You are the unbroken. And that's where we will end our episode tonight. Bravo, thank you you guys crushed that. A couple things I want to talk about as well as we get ready to do our stream MVP. It is #BlueBoxRPG in the chat. So make sure you pop that in. Thank you so much, Kurt. Oh, thank you very much, Rachel. I appreciate that. Yeah, so we were kicking around group names. I've just decided to go ahead and, because I liked it in the chat. I don't know if anyone disagreed, but everyone I saw said they liked it as well.
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah.
I was like, perfect. Lucius is having a moment. I can start weaving it in organically.
No, I loved it. It works so well. And look, I do want to address a very important point here, which is there are, and we knew this getting into this. I talked to all these players about it. I talked to all of my viewers about this. And, the setting is a very dark setting, not just because it's dark sun, but there are tropes, including things that we saw earlier. You have people who are forced into servitude against their will. There were backstories chosen by these players. Lucius touched on, I don't think there is a backstory which could be more sensitive to be dealt with. And the point that I want everyone to understand is that these things like slavery, abuse, they are evil. They are absolutely despised by everyone that runs this channel. These are not things to be celebrated. They are horrible evils to be overcome. In your game setting, if you have a necromancer that is following someone from the abyss, that's an evil. You got a greedy merchant that is stealing. That's an evil. These things are absolutely evil, and I want you to know that we can wait. I look forward to nothing more than seeing some of these stories told as chains are broken, as shackles are rent, as freedom is brought, as healing is brought. And that is the only way in which we tell these stories here at Blue Box. They are never designed to celebrate or even condone any of these types of evils. I hope that's abundantly clear to everyone, and really well told. Becca, you killed that. #BlueBox. How come no one dies anymore? They can still die. No, that's absolutely possible.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I thought Tick died the last episode. All right, so we're doing the stream MVP and
best to stop that.
What's that? Yes, yeah. Apparently, Nida's made it her personal objective to stop us.
I made a heal bot.
I appreciate that, Greg. Thank you very much. I just want to be clear. I mean, this is, even on Sundays now, we're dealing with some very sensitive topics, and to me, this is. Yes, I'm playing D&D. I love to play the game, but I've really thought about this over the past, year or so. I really believe what we're doing is we're creating art. I do like the mechanics of the game. I like the D20 rolls. I like the combat, but I think ultimately the storytelling, it's art. And we are telling stories. We are making art as we do these streams every Sunday, every Tuesday night. And I want to thank all of you for doing this with me. All right, so there's going to be.
John, you need to explain the poll for MVP.
Yeah, go ahead, Amanda.
Okay, so we have 6 players. You can only have 5 in the poll. The first 3 are going to be whoever says first whatever we go for of why you should be stream MVP. Then it'll be the next 3. The winners from both polls will then go into a final poll. The winner from that will get MVP.
We have to do this now because we have 6 players. And by the way, it is my intent. we're going to run with 6 players now. John is just too good not to have on the stream. So,
Oh, thank you.
Kalak, we are so excited. Actually, this was already on my mind, and then I had one of our viewers say the same thing to me this week. And you did a great job tonight. So we look forward.
Or is it just you want cannibalism to be happening?
Well, actually, we were like, it was funny in the conversation. The person said to me, they're looking forward to that moment after combat where Kalak looks at the Fallen and says, "Hey, you gonna eat that?" All right, so let's go through quickly and tell us why you should be Stream MVP in the chat. You're gonna type hashtag. Hello, Tracy. Hashtag BlueBoxRPG. Thank you again, everyone, for all the subs and the bits. I don't know if I missed anything today because our notifications didn't have audio to them. That happens every once in a while, a little tweak I got to make. But let's start with you, Tick. Why should you be Stream MVP?
Oh, Tick should be Stream MVP because of the way that I RP'd his injury. He was at 3 HP and he had a con of 4 in the beginning of all of this. So very much not a healthy little boy. But he ate his veggies and he got big and strong and he's almost fully healed now. But the big reason why is because of the RP with Kalak, as well as the RP about with Nida, with the healing before Kalak as well as afterwards, and just that moment between them. And the whole reason he split was because Anala was all by herself. Having no clue she could do what she did, she was all by herself, and so he went that way to find her and pull her, or bring her safety in some way. So that's why. I split the party for a good reason.
Yeah, no, you did a fantastic job with it, Rory. Absolutely. All right, so Rory, you will be rolling for. Hold on here.
Yes.
Again, it's hashtag BlueBoxRPG in the chat, and we're doing a Tailspire giveaway. There are actually not that many people in the giveaway. If this is correct, I'm only seeing about 7 or 8. So go ahead and hit hashtag BlueBoxRPG in the chat, and you'll be in the giveaway. And you're going to be rolling for Thomas, Celtic Boar.
Yes.
All right, let's go to Nida. Why should you be Stream MVP?
Nida should be Stream MVP because, like always, she is keeping everybody in one piece. But now we're getting to see a little bit more of the mental healing versus the physical healing that she's been doing consistently throughout the game so far. Kind of becoming the group's therapist. And putting herself in a situation where maybe she should keep her mouth shut, but she also has an understanding of she's the only one in a position of not authority, but that could be seen as, oh, this is a person who garners respect, and utilizing that aspect, even if Lucius doesn't like it. And making sure that Lucius does not go numb. Also, putting Tick's face.
Yeah, you put his face back together. It wasn't exactly perfect, it's like a kid putting putty on the face, but it's at least he's healed. All right, so no, that's okay, Thomas. You already have Tailspire. If you win, I will send you something else. I will send you. I'm gonna keep you in it, and we'll give you something else. I have some modules here and whatnot I can send. Toriano. All right, so you're rolling for BPG Gaming. That's Toriano, Biggie Paw. Now let's go to Anala. Why should you be Stream MVP?
Anala should be Stream MVP for using her power for the first time.
I know, that was so perfect. So tell everyone what that is, if they don't know the psionic wild talent you have.
So Anala has psychoportation, and she does not know really that she has it. She doesn't know how to use it properly. It's part of the reason why she is scarred up. But it manifests in her when she's really panicked and is trying to really focus on something to impress someone or to accomplish something. So see what happens.
Yeah, it was super fun. All right, anything else?
Nope, that was pretty
okay. You will be rolling for Old School. Old school, my friend. You are in the giveaway opportunity. And so now you can vote among those first 3, and then we'll do the second 3, and then we'll have the bake-off. All right, so Kalak, why should you be Stream MVP?
Kalak should be Stream MVP because I attempted to puppet master my torturer. Like that. He did all kinds of stuff in the land of humans trying to make it work. He protected his clutch mate. Like he went back out into the storm to get Tick. I feel like I'm gonna be honest. I felt like there's a little bit of plot armor just to like get him back with.
Oh, of course, yeah, there was.
I will totally accept that. But he kind of like interjected himself as a clutch mate of this group, and I don't know that they all quite understand that has happened yet. So
Not at all.
Anyway, a lot of spit also.
Lucius doesn't even know that he's there. Like,
Right.
who's this guy?
And he's just like quiet off to the side anyway, you know.
Suddenly bug.
Yeah, there's this weird bug sitting on the edge of the camp for the last like 3 weeks. Is he supposed to be there?
Did Zeph find a friend?
Yeah, I was like, Zeph, did you summon this one?
All right, so Tick, you won the first round. And then John, you will be rolling for... On here.
Doodle-doo.
Rachel, you've got Kateria.
Kateria.
All right, and now let's go to you, Josh. Why should Zephatok be Stream MVP?
Zeph should be Stream MVP for trying to be the middleman between Tick and everything else, trying to keep Tick under his thumb. Not even under his thumb, just not crazy.
Sure.
And then also doing his best to hide Tick from the oncoming Pelican.
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 No, what's the little dude that's a whatever. Palanquin.
Palindrome.
Palindrome? No.
He wrote it on the palindrome.
Yeah, he wrote it on the palindrome. No, just trying to be the spots where he's needed and what he's good at. That's it.
Yeah, and sending Skrit off into the storm.
Yeah, but that's Skrit MVP. No.
Yeah. All right, so you will be rolling for... Midsummer Waters.
Midsummer Waters.
Super active in chat tonight as well. So congrats, you're in the giveaway. And then last but certainly not least, Lucius. Why should you be Stream MVP tonight?
So we saw Lucius's demeanor change a lot today. When the diplomat came, he put on a show. He kept him enticed, even though Nadia kept trying.
Nida.
No, both of them are wrong.
Nida.
Sorry. We're trying to. Okay. Even though she kept trying to get the diplomat to pay attention to her, he was like, no. And just kind of wrapped him in, grabbed his attention, promised that he would see him again. Not quite what the diplomat was thinking in the way he was hoping. But then we saw him go off on her and just kind of like, shut up, what are you doing? Like, no, you don't know who this person is. You need to stay alive. You need to take care of us. So stop putting yourself in danger. The only reason we are alive is because of you. So stop trying to change that. And then going off, and we saw a little bit internally of what he's going through, some of his past. We'll peek into his history, however dark and unfortunate it is. So there's a lot of Lucius.
No, it was fantastic, and honestly, I know I've known this and we've talked about this since you first had the character concept, and I've candidly been a little bit concerned, but I think it was really well played, and I think these are stories that are worth telling, and I think you did a great job with it. So I look forward to seeing more of what that unfolds. All right, you will be rolling for Joffrey. storycaster of Dyke Songs. So, Dice Songs. Whoops. Whoops. Josh, you were way too slow on that. Dice Songs. All right. So the second part of the stream MVP is up. Let's go ahead and start rolling some dice. Let's start off with you, Rory. Go ahead and tell us who you're rolling for and roll your dice.
I am rolling for Celtic 4. Sorry. You know how I roll, so.
Let's go, Thomas. What do we have?
I got a 17.
A 17.
Hey.
Okay. All right. And Thomas, if you win, I am going to actually send you, let's see, because you already have Tailspire. I will send you, let's see which module here. This is a good one. I will send you the Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh. In fact, if anyone wants this instead of Tailspire, I will send that to you. It is a Lightning Source reprint. It's not original, but they're gorgeous reprints. So if you already have Tailspire and you would rather have this, I will send that to you. All right, let's go to you, Nida.
I am rolling for VP Gaming.
Oh my gosh, Lucius crushed. All right, so go ahead and let's put the secondary poll up. I think I know how this is going to go, but go ahead.
I would just like everyone to
7.
know.
So no, sorry, buddy.
No, sorry.
I used all my good rolling to heal people.
Yes, more important anyway. Anala,
Let's leave it there.
go ahead.
I would just like everyone to know that yes, it is choosing between me or Rory. You are picking a side on that.
I picked a better one.
You are all right. So what we'll, and I think Amanda's getting the poll up because Patrick had to head out because we went a little bit later tonight. So let's go to you. There it is. All right. So you've got the head-to-head poll. You picked the favorite member of the Self household. All right, Anala, tell us who you're rolling for.
I am rolling for Old School.
Here we go.
Everyone knows Tick is best
14.
boy.
Yes.
All right.
14.
Not enough. Tom is still in the lead. Go ahead, Kalak.
Come
All
on, Tick.
right, I'm rolling
Tick,
for
Tick.
Kateria.
You can vote for the stream MVP. It's in the upper right-hand corner. And Rachel gets a what?
I got a 6.
A 6.
I know.
Why don't you like Rachel, John?
Oh, brutal. She's my super fan.
She is a Kalak. She is Kalak's super fan. I know.
This is my
I know.
chance to like give back, and then it's like, no, sorry.
All right, go ahead, Josh.
My chance to disappoint.
And we're still rolling twice, right?
Correct.
Or-
Yeah, and by the way, if you haven't seen these AthosCon shirts, we're repping this. This is coming up. Keep hope alive. Remember, the Dark Sun setting is about hope. It is a hope setting. We are absolutely going to see good things happen in this setting. The AthosCon
John,
will
you
be
get to roll
taking
again.
place the final week of October, and you'll be hearing more and more about it here on Blue Box as we are sponsoring and promoting. We'll be playing a game during AthosCon. All right, what was your roll, Josh?
My rolls are for Midsummer Waters, and first roll is an 18.
18. Oh, let's go.
And second roll is another 18. So I'm really just solidifying.
All right. So you who have won the stream MVP, Becca, Lucius is our MVP and well-deserved. Only you stand between Midsummer Waters and this win. So who are you rolling for?
Joffrey, is he a sub?
He is Joffrey.
Okay.
And if you've listened to a lot of the music tonight, including the theme music, this is all from Joffrey, Storycaster of Dice Songs. Go ahead.
Come on.
Our amazing custom music.
Come on, no.
20,
I got
20,
a 16 and a 4.
Okay, Midsummer. Congratulations.
I can win so much.
So you have to send me, send it to me or to Amanda in our Discord. We need the address, mailing address, full name, and email. You can either get, if you want the Tailspire license, then all we need is email. If you want the
I don't even need email.
What's
I
that?
just need to know because I've got the codes. I don't need email.
oh, you just send it to a Discord. Yeah, okay. If it's you want the physical piece, then we'll need your address and we'll send that. So you just tell us which one you want. And with that said, I want to say thank you to all of our players. We did go a little bit later tonight, but this is your fault. You insisted that we go later tonight. And you guys were absolutely fantastic. I want to say thank you to the Mad Chatters. Great participation again today. Thank you for all the subs, all the bits that were given. But we do have a question for you tonight. If you're watching this stream and you've not followed us, or if you're a follower and you haven't subbed, or if you're a sub And you've allowed your subscription to expire. What is wrong with you? We have one question for you tonight. What are you doing? Come on, give us a follow, give us a sub. We appreciate all the support, and thank you so much for being part of Blue Box. I'm going to give my players the final word as I get set to raid some worthy target.
Y'all are wonderful.
Get
Thank
outta
you so
here.
much.
What are you guys
Thanks,
still
guys.
doing here? Friggin' nerds.
We're going to raid our friends over at Guild Superior and say hi to them. Good group. And we'll be back tomorrow night with Kurt talking Ragnarborg and the Morkborg setting and a custom module that he's created. I want to say thank you to all of my players. You guys were awesome tonight. And have a great night. Josh, let's go both get some dinner, shall we?
Yeah, please.
Thanks.
But also, if you're
I'm gonna
sticking
go
around,
finish
stick
cooking
around
dinner.
for the other John, the sexy John.
Wait,
Love
which
you.
John?
What?
You know which John. There we go. I was like, when's it going to? When's it going to?